creator behind Words by Parker. If this is your first visit, welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Let's switch back over so you can actually hear the game audio. You know, you'd think I've only been away from this a week. I'd still remember what the heck I'm doing. I haven't. Still learning. Anyway, so welcome. Thank you for being here. Today, in our journeys through Second Era Tamriel, we are going to talk about crafting. I'm very excited because crafting is one of my favorite things to do in this game. Where'd my controller go? Okay, today may be more fun than I expect because now I'm like, what did I do with things? Wait. There you are. Oh, pardon my squeaky chair. All right. Now, as I was saying, we're going to talk about crafting today. So crafting in ESO applies to a number of things. It applies to it's not just your armor, your weapons, and your jewelry. It also applies to potions you might use, food you might use, glyphs you might put on your weapons, armor, or jewelry. It also applies to crafting furniture and other things for houses, which housing is something else we'll talk about later. But I like housing too. Sometimes I get intimidated by housing because I'm like I look at some of the really cool houses people have done. It's very impressive because I'm like, how did you think to do that and to use that for this and and once I start playing with it, you know, I get all excited. But then it's like I'm not as confident with housing and decorating as I am with crafting. So today is my day, slight hiccups and tech glitches aside. So let us get started. And I'm going to. So right now, one other thing I forgot to do. Oh, come on. That's what I want. So when I remember to prepare properly, I have a tab set up on my, I just don't want, like zone chat and stuff like that, because zone chat gets really weird sometimes, and I would much rather you guys not have to deal with that, so, okay, there we go. Alright, I think that chat box will go away for a minute. So, in case you're wondering how I made that, in the PC version of ESO, you can make what's called tabs. So what I usually do, this character only has 2 tabs right now. She'll eventually have 3. What I have been doing is I make one tab it's really cool. I actually wish you had this option on console. Bethesda ZeniMax, if you're listening, I wish we had this option on console. But you can set up a tab and you can tell it what to display. So like, for instance, if you just wanted to see your guild chat, you weren't interested in anything else, you didn't want zone chat, you could just set up a tab, maybe call it guild chat so you know what it is, and then just, you know, start writing, just click on and select, like the guild chat, and I can't remember if it's anyway, I know, like I said, we're going to rabbit trail today. But, so basically what I do is I'll set up a tab that I call silence, which is nothing. It's no game chat, it's no zone chat or guild chat. It's just nothing. And that's what I usually use to record because I don't want to be distracted by that. But also, I don't want you guys seeing things that probably no one should see because guild chat not guild chat. The general zone chats tend to get toxic. At least they do on PlayStation. I'm sure it's no different over here. So I'm trying to spare you from that. So yeah, all right. I promise we're going to talk about crafting today. And I apologize, I am all over the place this morning. I have made some tea. Okay, I know this city like the back of my hand and I can't get out of here. I've made some tea, I have some water here. I am ready to go. I think my brain just needs to catch up.
General Endare is a hero. There's no way she'd abandon Haven to pirates.
outright. And the reason I am an Elden Root is because I came over here because this is a capital city. And it's not just the capital of Grotwood, it's actually the capital of the Aldmeri Dominion. Excuse me. So there's going to be more things to see, to do, more services you have available to you. I did go to an outfit station, in case you're wondering why our Khajiit had a little bit of a glow up. I did dye her costume and stuff. Again, we'll talk about all that later. But for now, let's go back over to not Reaper's March, Aradon, the other place. We are going to learn how to do crafting writs. So the thing about crafting writs, the reason you learn how to craft is so you can do your writs every day. I know that sounds like, why would you enjoy that? The great thing about the crafting is, you know, there's materials you get, you earn skills until you max everything out, etc. It counts as, you know, if you have a daily endeavor, which is like something they tell you, you know, today, you know, do 4 crafting writs. I don't think they've ever done one like that, but just in general, that would be kind of how it would work. You can, you know, that would count for your daily crafting stuff. And so, so this is our starting zone for any character in the Aldmeri Dominion. I believe, actually I'm fairly sure, you can learn how to do crafting anywhere. And in case you're wondering why I keep moving, I'm trying not to show folks' usernames if I can. It's a little hard in crowded areas, but I try. Because, so yeah. Actually, I'm trying to think. Each alliance has their own starter zone. It has their own, oh my gosh. I don't know why I'm blanking out so much this morning, y'all. I'm sorry. Each alliance has their own starter zone. It has its own capital city. So everything's pretty much the same no matter what alliance you play. And you can visit anywhere. Like, I could go visit the Ebonheart Pact capital. It's not a problem. It's not... Nothing is blocked off. Excuse me. So, Aradon, and specifically Valkelgard, is... Well, actually, Aradon itself is the first big starting zone for Aldmeri Dominion. But Aradon is where you can first learn crafting. And so what we're going to do is do the quests that are associated with learning how to craft, and talk a little bit about different things as well. So yeah, if you're just joining us, welcome. And just know today we are doing all crafting all the time. No, I'm kidding. Today's stream is going to be mostly about crafting. And hopefully I can share some information that if you play the game, or if you're thinking about playing the game, when you get started, you're ready to go. Excuse me. So let me just add up in the corner. If you look in the top right corner, you will see, now granted, I've got a quest to go do here in Valkelgard, but we'll do that later. But there is something that says Golden Pursuits. So this is something they put in the game probably about a year. Has it been 2 years yet? I think it's just been, it's either been a year or two. And that is like a limited time thing that you can do different pursuits depending on what the theme of the event is. So like last month they did one, I think it was last month, they did one for PvP. And everything was related to the PvP event, which was White Strix Mayhem. And so there were certain things you could do. So like, for instance, this first one that's on here, craft 10 items with any skill. Once I craft 10 items with any skill, which we should get close to today, and I'll just craft, 3 or 4 more things to finish it up. That will give me my first golden pursuit in this event. So this event, and actually I can show you. Ta-da! So we have, they've called this one a bit of crafty business. Khajiit is fond of that title. And so you have different rewards you can get. So, for instance, so you see the 5 underneath. When I do any 5 of the things down here, and there's a lot, we won't cover all of these, but just note there's a lot. I think they said there was like 30 something this time. And I've been working on these a little bit with one of my other characters, so that's why I have some done. So I technically have one done. I got that one done. And so it's really, it tends to be like stuff you would wind up doing anyway, like collecting alchemical plants or pure water springs. If I run by somewhere and there's a little crafting materials show up in nodes. If there's somewhere like with the water, it's like, you know, a little, looks like kind of like a little bubbling brook. If I go collect that, and that counted towards this particular golden pursuit. So, so yeah, so it's like this kind of stuff, the harvesting resources, cutting wood, all this stuff, these tend to be things you're going to be doing anyways. You're running around in the world and you're out and about, etc., etc. So yeah, excuse me. So go back to that. So up here are the different rewards you get. So once we do 5 of these things, so let's say I did the first 5 on this list, I would get 10k gold. Not too bad, not anything to sneeze at, because for me, gold is hard to earn in this game. I know people will disagree, and that's fine. I just, personally, I have a hard time doing it. But for me, also, crafting is one of the things that, one of the ways I can make gold in the game, and it makes sense to me, and it's easier to do for me. So we get some, at our next level, we get crafting rewards. These are all what are called tempers. We'll get into that later. Seals of Endeavor, talked a little slightly about that. Your writ vouchers, these, and this character will not see writ vouchers, definitely not today. Or not, I'm sorry. She might get a master writ voucher, but she's not going to be doing them because that requires you being completely leveled up. And then the last thing you get is they give you crafting stations, which I think is fantastic. I currently don't have any crafting stations for my house on this account, so yay. So this is part of what I'll be doing hopefully this weekend, to do a little bit of working on getting these pursuits earned. All right. I promise we're going to start talking about crafting. So, we're in our little starter zone here, and there is, excuse me, this little, as you know, little quest marker there tells us that, hey, there's a quest you can go do. So, there are always going to be in areas where you can craft. You can't do this in every city, but you can do it in the capital cities. You can do it in the DLC cities. Actually, you can learn how to craft in the DLC cities too, which is pretty cool. So like if you haven't started anything else in the game, but you're playing like the Somerset DLC, you can learn how to craft in Somerset. And we will actually get to Somerset today because we have to go there to learn jewelry crafting. So there's going to be 2 boards. One is for consumables and one is for equipment. Doesn't matter for this which one you pick up. So you notice a prominent handbill on the requisition board. Queen Irene bids you welcome. Masters of the craft await you in Volkelgard. New crafters shall be trained. Accomplished crafters will be certified. All at no cost to you. Read the fine print. Unskilled crafters will be certified after a brief training. Skilled crafters will be certified immediately. The masters shall charge no fee for certification. Certification is mandatory to fulfill crafting writs. Interested parties should seek out Millenith for blacksmith, clothier, and woodworker certification. Speak with Daniel Teleno for provisioner, enchanter, and alchemist certification. Well, that's what we're here to do, is learn how to craft, right? So we are going to take the handbill. And that now gives us a quest called crafting certification. So basically, we can learn how to do either one first. It doesn't matter. You're going to, basically, if you talk to one person, you're going to talk to the other one once you're done. It's no biggie. So I am going to go up here. And we're going up to the Fighters Guild. Milleneth will always be at the Fighters Guild.
The guild has need of you, comrade.
Daniel Teleno will always be at the Mages Guild. As far as to start their quest, they will eventually move around. But
You here for crafting certification? Don't worry,
There's no cost involved.
your alliance covers all my fees. Once you're certified, they'll let you fulfill the crafting writs. Everyone wins.
Yes, the Ranjidaro saw the notice. How do the crafting writs work?
They're daily requests for crafted goods, but they're only available to certified crafters. If you can show me you know your craft, I'll get you certified.
All right. Tell this one how this works.
I can train and certify blacksmiths, clothiers, and woodworkers. If that sounds like something you'd want, we can get started.
Who else can certify this one?
Have you spoken with Danelle Teleno? He handles certification and training for provisioning, enchanting, and alchemy. He's a bit stuffy, but he knows what he's doing.
Tell Zaranji more about the crafts you certify.
Of course. What do you want to know?
What can a blacksmith make?
Anything with metal in it, and I don't mean horseshoes and calipers. The crafting writs are for weapons and heavy armor, so that's what I teach.
What does a woodworker make?
Bows, shields, and magical staves. Staffs? No, it's staves. I always forget how to say that.
What do clothiers make?
Cloth and leather goods. The crafting writs want pieces of light cloth armor or medium leather armor, so that's what I certify.
All right. This one is ready for certification.
Excellent. We can get started whenever you're ready.
Now, in case you probably noticed in the quest dialogue, I can always back out and go talk to Danelle. But this character is a Sam character. I think she would be more interested in the gear she can make as opposed to the consumables we can make. But like I said, we will get there.
Let me know if you have some time. I can train and certify you in something else.
Tell this one more about blacksmith. My words today. Tell Zaranji Daro more about blacksmith certification.
Prove you know your way around a forge and I'll certify you. But you have to commit. I can only train one discipline at a time.
Zaranji Daro wants to be certified as a blacksmith.
I want you to craft a simple iron dagger. First you'll mine some iron ore, then refine the ore into iron ingots. You'll use those ingots to make the dagger.
This one will certify. No, I cannot read. Goodness. Oh gosh. Good morning, Dougs. Thank you so much. Yes, that's very sweet of you. Thank you so much. Yes, this game definitely makes me want to get back into Skyrim just to compare things and compare locations, but especially this whole make an iron dagger, and all I can think about is like iron, like when you go to Riverwood, and you're talking to the blacksmith there, and he's like, "Oh, go make me an iron dagger." So I love that with this one. It cracks me up. So there we go. But thank you so much for your kind words and that donation. Thank you. It's very sweet. Have a great day. Yeah, I would love to hear if you play ESO. I'd love to hear what you think of it. Okay, back to crafting. I know I keep getting rabbit trailed. I can't help it. So let's see. All right, so like I actually just kind of sort of really quickly rambled. If you've played Skyrim before, in the first village you get to, you can talk to the blacksmith and you can ask him to train you. You can also get trained later in Whiterun, but you can ask him to train you. And he'll ask you to make an iron dagger. So the first time I played this quest, I'm like, yay, this is like Skyrim, where you go make the dagger. Okay, I know. Did I mention I geek out over this game? Did I mention? Did I? Anyway, all right. You will certify Zaranjidaro if she can make an iron dagger.
Yes. You have to prove you know your way around a blacksmithing station. Those are the rules. For now, bring me an armload of iron ore. Once you're back, you'll refine them into iron ingots.
So, the reason that this says I already have enough iron ore is because other characters have been collecting stuff on the account and whatnot. So, normally it would say, okay, I'll go get that ore. And we may see that later, I'm not sure. I do have some materials stored in my craft bag, so that's probably why. That's going to be why it... Matter of fact, if I had some refined ore already, because you get, for instance, with blacksmithing, you get your ore, and then you refine it into ingots. Sometimes, especially if you've been playing for a while or you have a lot of materials on you, you may already have the ingots you need to make it. If you don't, you just go refine it. So basically, the crafting quest will absolutely walk you through what you need. They will also walk you through where in the world to go get, like if it tells you to go get mountain flower, it'll point it out on the map for you. So it's really easy.
Bring the iron ore to a blacksmithing station. If you have enough, you can refine them into iron ingots. Really put your back into it. When you have iron ingots, return to me.
Actually, this one has some iron ingots as well. What should I do next?
Go to the blacksmithing station and craft an iron dagger. Nothing fancy. You shouldn't need more than 2 iron ingots. Oh, and you'll need a style material. You can purchase them from any blacksmith, or scavenge them yourself if you're thrifty.
This one will go make that dagger then. Alright. So yes, I had some ingots already, but that does help this go faster. Like, for instance, if you have... I always like having multiple characters in ESO because it does help you with, like, crafting stuff and questing and all that kind of stuff. Especially I personally like having one per alliance. Not because necessarily anything's completely bound behind a gate, but, well, other than, like, things that are limited to your alliance, like, Alliance War, PvP, that kind of thing. Alright, so we are at our blacksmithing station. And we are going to... Okay, good, I have inventory. Doesn't she look pretty? Sorry. I'm very excited how this turned out. The color, I had good colors for her. And now you can actually see her calico markings better. It's so pretty. Okay. So, the great thing is... we've got... And this wasn't always the way in ESO. You usually had to remember what you had to make. But they added in, I think a few years ago... It's been a few years now, yeah. That up in the top right corner where you're used to looking for your quest, it tells you exactly what you need to know. So we're going to go to... So if I had just picked up the iron ore, I would go to refine. You need 10 materials, so like 10 pieces of iron ore to refine. So like I have some calcinium ore. I could refine 10 pieces of that. So out of this 26, I can make 2 calcinium ingots. You have all kinds of... You can tell I've been collecting some stuff. So, like, here's some iron ore. I just add it. I can hold it to refine multiple, or I can just do 10. So I'm just going to do... There we go. Materials recovered. Iron ingot. How'd I get 9 ingots? I'll take that. I'm not gonna... Might have to do at the event. Or, Golden Pursuits, which is technically an event. Alright, so... I do have a little bit of blacksmithing knowledge already at 3, because I have deconstructed some stuff. So that's why that's there. Normally, you will start out at 1. Alright, so we go to creation. And the great... Do I have style material? Okay, I do... Yes, because she's a Khajiit. I'm going to have some moonstone. So again, we have our, whatchamacallit up in the corner. What I usually, or well, what I always do is I go to options and I make sure that I check have items so that I only show what can be created based on what's available in my inventory. So like if I didn't have style material or if I didn't have the iron ingots to make something, it would tell me, or it wouldn't show it. Let me rephrase. This one is very important, the have knowledge. This is a baby toon, but also a baby crafter. She's not done much, so she's not going to know much. So I want to make sure that I'm only seeing the things that I know how to make instead of seeing everything and getting overwhelmed. This one is an optional. So it will, and this is actually great. Actually, I will select this one so you can see what it looks like. This is actually great because it will only show you what you need to make for that quest. This is wonderful when you're doing crafting writs because it only shows you the 3 items you need to make, if it's 3, for crafting writs. And I'm going to click it so you see what it looks like. This thing is great. Just saying. So, ta-da! All right, so actually let me go back. So if we tell it not to show just quest only, it's going to show us everything we can make at the blacksmithing station. It's still going to have the little quest marker next to what you need to make. Now, because I have this set to be because I have this set to just show what I have skills to make, she is only showing level 1 stuff. Because she can, well, I'm sorry, levels 1 through 14. Because she can work with iron ingots right now. The only style that she knows is Khajiit. You can learn styles and motifs, and good grief, it is insane how many there are in this game. Some really great ones too, but you have to learn them, and you have to learn them on each character. Now, the great part is, for me, I always have a main character. So my main character on this account has learned some of the other crafting styles. So this character could go to a outfit station, which we'll talk about later, and put herself entirely in Imperial style, because my other character knows Imperial style. Because she has not learned Imperial style, she can't craft in it. And so I appreciate that distinction, so that you're not having to learn every motif on every character, because, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. Like, is there 200 yet? Different, just in motifs you can learn. That doesn't include outfit styles, which are a whole nother thing. There's anywhere between... It's between 150 and 200, and I may be overestimating, but I know it's over 100. That much I do know. So yeah, it is. There's so many, but your character will always know how to make the style for their race. So Khajiits will always know how to do Khajiit style. Imperials always know how to do Imperial style. Red Guards always know how to do Red Guard style, etc. So I'm going to go back over here and click on. Yes, I'm doing that right. So, at a blacksmithing station, we can make weapons. We can make armor. And the cosmetics of these things that I'm going through up here are always going to look different based on what style you're crafting in. Alright. So, this shows us everything we can do. Again, it's only showing us this because we have knowledge to do it. She has not learned any traits, so she can't make traits yet. Now, if I go back and I say quest only, this is where it gets fun. Oh, look, it says we can't craft any apparel. Well, we can. We can't in this menu. Let me rephrase. But if I go back over here, this is now only showing me the dagger. It's, and I don't have to go through that big, long list. So those options are very, very helpful. Use them as needed. You may not want to use them. I find them very helpful. I'm really glad they put them in the game, because it used to be harder to do this because you didn't have the option to just say, oh, just show me the quest only stuff. And then you didn't have your quest showing in the corner. That's also helpful too. So thank you very much for fixing that, guys. So we're going to go to craft. All right, we have crafted our iron dagger. Let us go back and find our teacher. Oh, look, she is standing right here.
Craft an iron dagger. You'll need some iron ingots and a style material. You can buy those from any blacksmith if you can't find them yourself.
Zarangidaro has it right here.
The trick is the style material, but I'm sure you know that.
This one figured it out. What more would you have me do?
Next is deconstruction. You learn a lot when you break something into parts, even more so when it's someone else's work. Go deconstruct your dagger, or anything else really, as long as you do it at a blacksmithing station.
I know, right? We have to break apart the thing we just made. There's a point to it. How is deconstruction useful to this one?
You'll regain some components, of course, but the real trick is to deconstruct another crafter's work. You can learn far more by disassembling someone else's material than your own.
This will come in handy later. Again, rambles and rabbit trails today. So, for instance, if I make and then deconstruct a piece of armor, let's say, we'll say if I make and deconstruct this dagger, I will get a certain amount of crafting inspiration and learn a little bit. But if I deconstruct a dagger that someone else has made, then I will get more crafting inspiration and whatnot back. So, and those you can usually get if you have friends in the game or if you're in a guild. You can also go to the guild stores. And we'll talk about that. If we don't get to that today, we will get to it soon in another stream. But I think, yeah. Okay. So, what is deconstruction?
It's a fancy way to say take something apart. The term originally came from Altmer poetry critiques. High elves consider their physical crafts to be forms of poetry, so it stuck. You can't know what a sword is, only what it's not, and so forth.
I think we already did this question.
You'll regain some components.
All right, so basically we're just going to turn back around, go back to, and here's another thing. You get your marker over your blacksmithing station so you know which one to go to. Excuse me. All right, so now we're going down to this third one here, which is called deconstruct. And we actually have some things we can deconstruct over here. So I can, so this is my iron dagger that I just created. And if a player has created an item, it will always say their character name that created it, which is actually kind of cool. I like that. So I'm going to deconstruct this. And if you'll look at the bottom right and look at blacksmithing, you can see how far it moves the meter, your crafting inspiration meter. All right, so it didn't move it that much. We did get an iron ingot back, which is good. So this is an item that I picked up on Canarthy's Roost while I was adventuring over there. And I don't really need it. I mean, I could use it, but I don't really need it. This is a green item, so it's a little bit better than a white item. So your qualities of items come in 4. There's white, which is basic. Green, which is... oh my gosh, I can't remember what it is. I will have to go look that up because I don't remember what green is. Green is the 2nd level. Blue, which is superior, is the 3rd level. Epic, which is purple. And then legendary, which is gold. Now here's the thing. Unless you really, really like and use a set a lot, do not gold it out. And that's what we call it, is golding it out. It's, yes, you get the extra benefits because every time you improve it, the stats of the armor or the weapon or the jewelry or whatnot improve. However, it is very expensive to be crafting and golding out your stuff. It's very expensive. So it's kind of like if you have a set you're using a lot and you really like it and you're comfortable with it and you're like, you know what, I love this set, I really want to max it out. By all means, go ahead. Just know that you are not going to do that with everything you pick up. You're actually probably not going to do that to purple with everything that you pick up. I have, so for instance, on my main account, which is on PlayStation, I still play over there, because that's the account I've played on for years. But I also have friends over there, and we will get together and game and have a good time. So that will always be my main account. This is my main PC account. Well, the only account I intend to have on PC. So I completely lost track of what I was saying. Completely. Oh, so on my PlayStation account, I have several healers because as far as tanks, damage dealers, and healers, I'm definitely more of a healer type. And I have several healers on my account. My main healer has a couple of different sets, so I can switch them out. But she only has like a few sets, like my go-to use them all the time sets that are golded out. The rest of them are purple. If you are not worried about min-maxing in this game, purple is completely acceptable. Please don't feel like you have to gold stuff out. You do not. Now, if you're looking to get into veteran content, vet hard mode, different difficulties of things, that's a different story. But I am also not the person to talk about that because I don't do that. That is too stressful for me, to be quite honest. But I like what I do, and I have some pretty powerful characters. And I will eventually have some powerful characters on PC once they grow up and turn into big tunes. But for now, all right. So I am going to deconstruct this item. It is a green item, so it's a little bit better than that white item, but I also didn't make it. So let's see how much it moves the bar. So that moved it quite a bit. You'll see up in the corner, we got a honing stone, which is the improvement material you use to change something from white to green. And we got a little bit of material. I think we got an ingot, yes? So, yeah. So, speaking of like the deconstructing and all that, if you find something and you don't need it, and you don't need the gold, deconstruct it. You are constantly getting, especially when you're just learning, you are constantly going to be getting your, I know what words are. You're constantly going to be getting your crafting inspiration, and you will raise it just like that. I have one of my best friends. We're a trio. So, myself and one of my friends had been playing this game since 2018. Our other friend just started playing last actually, yeah, it was last year. She's coming up on her first year in ESO. I'm so excited. I'm so proud. But because all of my characters were like maxed out, anytime I would get something she could deconstruct to help with her crafting, I would send it to her and I'd say, hey, just go to a station, deconstruct this. And she would. She leveled up her I think, let's see, is she done with jewelry too? She was able to level up like her blacksmithing, her clothing, her woodworking, like that. Because it's just passive. You're constantly, every time you decon something, you are constantly earning that crafting inspiration until you max it out. And you max out at 50, so you have a long ways to go. Higher level items, like champion level 160 items, which is your max level for items, those will always give you more inspiration than smaller items. But in all honesty, deconstruct whatever you don't need and whatever you can get your hands on that you don't need. Because it does help. And the other thing is, you don't have to think about it. Oh, she's over here. I'm like running away. The other thing is, you don't have to think about it when you're doing it that way. You're just picking up stuff, deconning it. You're just picking up your stuff from the world. It's basically passive leveling, which is great. All right, so let's go back over here. Let's get back to the quest, Rhonda. Quest.
You certainly know your way around a forge.
Thank you.
You're a blacksmith, and let none tell you otherwise.
Saranjidaro is ready to be certified as a blacksmith.
Of course. I'll get you certified right away so you can fulfill blacksmith crafting writs immediately.
Thank you. Now, every time we do one of these, opening crafting quests, because we do these once and we don't have to do it again, we get inspiration and we get a little bit of improvement material. So we're going to get 1.1k inspiration in our blacksmithing skill line. And we're going to get a honing stone that will go into our inventory, or for me, my craft bag, so that we can improve things. All right.
Let me know if you have some time. I can train and certify you in something else.
This one has so much time. Saranjidaro is interested in woodworking certification. By the way, you can do these quests in any order. I'm just going straight down the list because it's easier.
A good woodworker sees the final product before cutting the first block of wood. But I can't teach 2 crafts at once. If you commit yourself to the training, I'll certify you.
This one wants to be certified as a woodworker.
I want to know if you can craft a maple bow. First, go harvest some rough maple. You'll refine it into sanded maple at a woodworking station. Last, you'll take the sanded maple and turn it into a maple bow.
You will certify Saranjidaro if she can craft a maple bow?
Absolutely. Bows are challenging to craft. Show me you're up to the challenge and I'll happily certify you. But first, go get me a bundle of rough maple.
This one already has some rough maple.
Bring the rough maple to a woodworking station. As long as you have enough, you can refine it into sanded maple. Return to me when you've done that, and we'll talk about crafting a maple bow.
Saranjidaro already has some sanded maple too, actually.
Craft a maple bow at a woodworking station. You'll need sanded maple, also a style material. Scavenge them yourself, or buy a style material from a carpenter.
This one will go craft that bow then.
I prefer to work with maple. It's reliable, plentiful, rarely full of wasps.
That is beneficial. This one does not wish to get stung. Alright, so, by the way, now I don't think these books actually will raise your skill level like we've seen in previous streams, but the way this book is glowing means this character has not read it yet. And so, these are, again, if you guys have heard me talk about ESO before, you know I love lore and I love all the stuff you can read. So these are... Orc forge wives say they're the only ones who know how to smith. I say mud crabs to that. That is hilarious. I feel like I want to start saying, like, I say mud crabs to that. Instead of saying hogwash, it'd be mud crabs. Dang it, I'm probably going to adopt that. Alright, so, it's basically just telling you, that's so funny. Admire your iron dagger. Okay, that's true. Take a moment to admire your work. It's not just an iron dagger. You pulled metal from the ground and forged it into a tool that can end lives. Respect what you've made. That's pretty cool, actually. I like that. I really like that. So it's basically just telling you everything you've learned from talking to Milaneth, but this book will always be here if you need to refresh your memory. Alright. Oh, I have the sanded maple. My bad. I forgot.
I prefer to work with maple. It's reliable, plentiful, rarely full of wasps.
This one has the sanded maple. What do we do next?
Craft a maple bow at a woodworking station. You'll need sanded maple, also a style material. Scavenge them yourself, or buy a style material from a carpenter.
What is a style material?
Every race has a traditional material they work into their weapons and armor. For example, the Imperial style material is nickel. I should know. Every day in the Legion camps, I worked a pile of it.
What style material do I need?
The Khajiit style material is moonstone. Why not start with that?
How does Zoranjidaro learn other racial styles?
You can learn how to craft with another race's style material by studying racial motif books. They're quite rare, mostly held by collectors, so watch for them in your travels.
You can also go to a guild trader and find them, just saying. Alright, and just, I keep saying guild traders. So guild traders are stores where players can sell and buy things from other players. So it's great. It's, so like for instance, if I had a Khajiit book for the crafting style, I could go list that. If I was part of a guild that did trading, I could go list that and say, hey, this is for sale for this amount of gold, etc. It's really great, actually. All right. So we're going to, now yes, she has a marker over her head. It's because this would be the person you would talk to get your style material.
You can't run, you can't keep up. Those that can't keep up get left behind.
She's a little tough on the recruits. So she would give me style. She would let me buy style material, and I'll show you.
Ugh, the teeth on these saws are flatter than mine. Ah, carpentry. It's a labor of love. Unrequited, I'm afraid. What can I get you?
So these, and you'll run into this in the starter zones and anywhere where you can actually learn crafting. Can you tell me about woodworking? And we won't go through that because it's not really necessary for the quest, but they'll tell you a little bit more about stuff, you know, if you want to know. If I need to buy style material, I would go to store. And there's always things you can learn. Blueprints are how you learn to make blueprints, patterns, all that are how you learn to make furnishings. Little known wooden weapon. That's hilarious. Okay. But down here in material, these are the different materials you can buy. All of the base game racial styles, which is going to be High Elf, Wood Elf, Nord, Argonian, Orc, Breton, Khajiit, Imperial, Dark Elf, and Redguard. All of those are base game. They will always be available for you to purchase from the carpenters and the blacksmiths in the towns. If you need a style material for something else, you will have to go find it in the world or get it from guild traders. But we're just working with base game stuff. And for the most part, for your crafting writs, you'll never have a crafting writ unless it's a master writ, which is a whole other thing. That will tell you have to have a specific style. So it's best to just use, and you will find...
Speed? I've seen dozing Argonians move faster than that.
You tell them, Warder. All right. I have... I started to say, I have seen... No, that was her. As you're collecting things, and as we've said before, touch everything as long as you have inventory room to do that. You'll pick up crafting material from all kinds of races all over the place. It'll happen. Again, it's like that it's kind of like passive leveling, passive collecting material. You know, it's once you just do certain things, you just don't think about it anymore. You're like, oh, okay. All right, so we are going to make a bow, and because I still have my quest only turned on, it's only showing me the bow. Apparel is a shield for woodworking. Here you can make bows and staves. You have 4 kinds of staves. You have fire, ice, lightning, and restoration, which is your healing stuff. All right, so we are going to make... Right. Crafted our bow. We now need to talk to Milaneth. There she is. Great part is...
Craft a maple bow. Bring some sanded maple to a woodworking station, as well as a style material. Carpenters sell them if you can't find any yourself.
The great part is she will move to whatever station you go to, so will Danelle Taleno, which is great. This one has the bow right here.
A good bow will get you far in life. Making good bows will get you farther.
Saranjidaro is ready for the next step.
Excellent. Now we can talk about deconstruction. You grow as a woodworker when you disassemble your own creations, even more so with someone else's work. Head to a woodworking station and deconstruct your bow, or any other crafted wood.
So, we have talked about this previously when we did blacksmithing, so we are not talking about it again. We're just going to go deconstruct stuff. Alright, so we go down to deconstruct. We select it, and we deconstruct it. And, as you see, doesn't move the bar very far. Alright.
I've seen everything I need to see. You're a fine woodworker with a steady hand.
Why, thank you. Zaranjidaro is ready to be certified as a woodworker.
Certainly. You're more than qualified to fulfill woodworking crafting writs. I'll certify you immediately.
And again, we get some crafting inspiration, we get some material.
There's only one more certification I can provide. If you need training, I have time.
Zaranjidaro would like to know more about clothier certification.
If you convince me you know how to use a needle and thread, I'll certify you. However, you must commit. I can't certify two things at once.
This one wants to be certified as a clothier.
Show me you can craft a pair of homespun gloves. First, you'll collect some raw jute, then return here and refine it. Finally, you'll use refined jute to make the gloves.
You will certify Zaranjidaro if she can craft homespun gloves?
Of course. It was the first trade I studied. I'm happy to certify anyone familiar with a clothing station. Now run forth and bring me a pile of raw jute.
This one already has enough raw jute.
Take the raw jute to a clothing station. If you have enough, you can easily refine it. Bring the refined jute to me when you're done, and then you'll make some homespun gloves.
Actually, Zaranjidaro already has some refined jute as well. What should she do next?
Head to the clothing station and craft a pair of homespun gloves. You shouldn't need much refined jute. Don't forget a style material. You can purchase them from any clothier or scavenge them yourself.
This one will go make the gloves then. Alright, so our clothing station is going to be down here, under where the blacksmith station is. And that is true all across where you go to find crafting stuff. It's always in different spots. There's usually like a central hub, but you'll be kind of going back and forth to find stuff. Alright, so you guys know the drill by now. We have our gloves, we have our jute, we have our style material. And so yes, this is going to go a little bit faster because it's very much repetitive, but once you get through all this, you can do all your crafting writs. No big deal. Speaking of, I'm going to show you how this changes. So this is our other board for crafting writs. As you can see, this board now has a blue quest icon. Those blue quest icons indicate a repeatable quest or a daily. I don't know if I've talked about dailies yet or not before, but you may hear people talk about doing my dailies. Crafting writs are a daily quest you can do. You can do these every day, once a day. And so, if there's a handbill on the board, we want your wares, So because I have been certified as a blacksmith and I've been certified as a woodworker, I can actually pull one of these writs to do. And you pull a writ from the board and that gives you the quest. We will do that later. Because I want to show you kind of because I usually go pull them all at once and do them all at once why am I coming back up here? She is not up here. She is down here next to the clothing place. There we go. All right.
Craft a pair of homespun gloves. You'll need refined jute and a style material. Clothiers sell those if you can't find any yourself.
This one has the gloves right here.
I'm a master clothier, yet I still own a pair of homespun gloves. They keep my hands warm at night. Sometimes simple is better.
This is true. Right. Zaranjidaro is ready for our next step.
Wonderful. Now for deconstruction. There's much to learn from breaking down your own work, even more so with someone else's creation. Head to a clothing station and deconstruct your gloves. Or anything else, really. Just be sure you do it there.
Clothing station. Deconstruction. And look what we're almost done with.
You're more than capable with needle and thread. I'll be proud to call you my colleague.
Zaranjidaro is ready to be certified as a clothier.
Already done. You'll now be able to fulfill clothier crafting writs, and I look forward to seeing more of your work.
Right.
I have nothing left to teach. Have you spoken with Danel Teleno? He can certify you at enchanting, alchemy, and provisioning. Last I heard, he was in the local mages guild.
So, we didn't talk to him before? If we had talked to Danel Teleno before, he would say, oh, Milaneth is in the Fighters Guild. So you definitely, it doesn't matter which one you pick to start with, just as long as you start. This one has a few questions.
Of course. What do you want to know?
All right, I am not going to go through this because this is going to take a while. But anything else you should know about crafting, she'll give you more information. And it's worth going through at least once. But we, for sake of time and not to bore people who are not interested in this, we are just going to go to what I love to do is ask them, how did you learn this? How did you become a master crafter?
Fair question. I was an apprentice clothier in the Imperial City, but my old fusspot of a master had no plans to retire. So I joined the 7th Legion's baggage train. Years of mending battle mage armor helped me perfect my craft.
How did you learn blacksmithing and woodworking?
Armies need all kinds of weapons and armor. You learn to pick up a few skills along the way. Also, enemies who capture the baggage train are far more likely to ransom an exceptionally talented crafter. 4 times for me. Don't plan on a 5th.
I love that, where she talks about the ransom. 4 times for me. Don't plan on a 5th. I wouldn't plan on a 5th either. So if you say have some other questions, it goes back to...
What do you want to know?
Is there anything else I should know about crafting?
I can explain how to craft stronger items with more materials, tell you about the improvement of existing items, or discuss research and traits.
Actually, I said I wasn't going to go through these. I am going to go through these because, at least once, we're not going to go through it with everybody.
You can easily create more powerful weapons, armor, and shields. Simply increase the amount of refined material during an item's creation. Of course, each material has its own limits. At some point, it's just waste. You can greatly improve weapons, armor, and shields with certain rare materials. These materials are unique to each craft. Bring any tempers you find to a blacksmithing station. You can improve the quality of forged weapons or heavy armor. A word of warning, unless you have enough tempers, you can lose your item while improving it. Be sure you know the risks.
And that applies to all crafting. You have to make sure, and there's, that's a whole other thing too.
Some weapons, armor, and shields possess rare traits that distinguish them from others. Every kind of item has its own unique set of traits. Once you research a trait, you will always be able to craft an item of that kind with that particular trait. Bring any item with a trait to the appropriate crafting station and research it. You'll lose the item in the process, but you'll learn the trait. The more traits you already know for an item, the longer new traits take to research. Plan accordingly.
Oh, research. Research does take a while. I usually tell people that are interested in making a crafter, it takes about a year to learn all the traits across all the items. You'll finish up some sooner than others. Woodworking's one of the first ones you'll finish up because it has less things to learn. It's only 4 staves and a shield. And there are ways you can speed up the research. But that requires you putting your skill points into your crafting lines. And by the way, being a crafter takes a ton of skill points. Not that you're not going to earn skill points as you play the game, but just be aware it does take a lot. It's completely worth it to me, but I'm biased. All right, so let us go to the Mages Guild, which is going to be out this way. Why I'm running. I have a horse. Giddy up, horsey. All right. I know, I'm not right. This is the manor house? No. Wait, this isn't the guild. I went the wrong way. And I should know better. Okay. I say that because I've been in this city 1,000 times. I should definitely know where things are. But, sometimes you forget. Alright. And if you're wondering what that sound is in the distance, there is a dark anchor right outside of town. So you'll hear it when you're in Volkilgard all the time. Alright. Now, following our usual pattern. Oh, look, a bookshelf. Let's read. I just got a skill book that increased my blacksmithing to 4. Skill books are great. Okay. All right. Danel Teleno. I might pronounce his name right once, I don't know.
There is much more I can teach you. What else do you hope to learn from me?
What can you tell me about provisioning certification?
A provisioner condenses the essence of ingredients into food or drink. A true artist balances palate with nutrition. I can share this noble profession, but I can only certify one craft at a time. Understood?
This one wants to be certified as a provisioner.
Provisioning is a rewarding yet grueling profession. Gruel, you see. I am capable of levity, on occasion. First, you'll need a recipe and some ingredients. Then you shall roast a pig.
You will certify this one if she can roast a pig?
Yes, I hope you don't think it beneath you. As bards learn lyrics before singing them, provisioners must work from recipes. A recipe specifies volume, proportion, and preparation time. Understanding these principles is key.
Very well. Where should this one find a recipe?
I keep an old rival's recipe nearby. Go, find and memorize it. Return to me when you have done so.
Where else can this one find recipes?
Provisioners are quite secretive, but all is fair in brews and stews. Some provisioners hide recipes in old drawers or shelves, thinking themselves clever. Better to memorize the recipe, then others cannot possibly learn your secrets.
Is there anywhere Zaranjidaro can purchase recipes?
Should coin be of no issue to you, guilds often sell such items in their guild stores. You may also trade with an ally if they have any excess.
All right. Where is it? Over here. So we're gonna go learn how to make roast pig. So, look in the trunk. Oh, look it! It's a roast pig recipe. Just what we need. Yeah, I know, it's meant to be there. But here's the thing. This is another reason I say search containers wherever you go, because you will find recipes, you'll find crafting diagrams, you'll find skill style stuff, you'll find crafting materials. I mean, you'll find gold. Let's not forget gold. You'll find random items like armor and whatnot. So it's always good to loot the dickens out of anywhere you go, if you have time. Sometimes you might be in a rush to get through a level, or you just don't feel like it, and that's totally fine. But as a general rule. So now, we have our roast pig recipe, but I gotta learn it. We go to inventory, we go to supplies, and we go to roast pig. Now, the little icon next to it that's flashing, well, it also tells us we just picked it up, but let me move to a different one. That little green icon tells you that you do not know that recipe. This is a fantastic recent addition, and I love it. I'm like, oh, I can take one look and go, oh, I don't know that recipe. Let me learn it. Instead of having to put this in the bank, go load up my main tune, and go, do you know this yet? All right. We've learned our roast pig recipe. And there are some bookshelves here. You know I gotta read my bookshelves. As a friend of mine said, further your education. Alright.
Don't let this theory of non
Roast pig is an easy recipe to learn, but difficult to master.
This one had a successful hunt. It involved going into my craft bag and pulling out stuff. What is her next step?
Now, the moment of truth. Go to a cooking pot with your ingredients and follow the recipe. Return to me with the results, so your worth as a cook may be judged.
If Zaranjidaro runs out of ingredients, where can she find some more?
Barrels, sacks of grain, kitchens, of course. It's food, it's simply around. Find what you need and take it.
Is there anyone this one can purchase ingredients?
Should coin be of no issue to you, guilds often sell such items in their guild stores. You may also trade with an ally if they have any excess.
Alright, so now we are going to go make something. Now there's not a... oh wait, he said something about what's the difference. I'm sorry. Not stealing. There we go. Yet.
Bring me your culinary creation so I might inspect.
Okay. So if you ask one of those questions, you don't get to ask the others. Okay, no problem.
I call this Shalador's
not,
legacy.
like- You don't have to go through every single dialogue option. Please don't feel like you have to. I do because that's my thing. But you don't have to. And I'm doing a lot. I'm doing more than I usually do because I want to show you, how this works kind of thing. Usually when I am certifying a new crafter, I am zooming through this like nobody's business because I've done it. I've seen it. I know it. But you guys don't know it because you haven't done this yet. So, or if you have done this already, hopefully you are learning something new. Oh, look, our friend Danelle is right here. All right. So we want a cooking fire. Cooking fires can be found at camps. They can be found at player homes sometimes if they have a provisioning station. They can be found in inns and taverns, things like that. If you walk up to a fire and it says cooking fire, you can use it to cook with. All right, so our provisioning is currently at 2. Provisioning is one of the easiest crafts to level really quick. So is alchemy. If you have the materials to do it. It is an if. All right. So provisioning. Look it. Roast pig. And look it. I have 2 pieces of white meat and only need 1. And I have to hit the right button. Here we go. So, now if I didn't have the meat already, I would have had to go hunting out around Auradon. Not a big deal. Again, you'll get a little quest marker arrow pointing you where you need to go. So at a provisioning station, you can do food, drinks, and furnishings. And every crafting station has a furnishing thing to it. So like clothing is patterned. Excuse me. Woodworking is blueprints, I think. Woodworking is diagrams. Blueprints are blacksmithing, I think. But each one has a different one. That's kind of how you can tell. Once you learn the names and what's what, that's how you can tell where to go to make it. I do not need the cooking fire again. This guy, you talk to him. Okay, there we go.
Bring me your culinary creation so I might inspect it. I'll determine whether or not you deserve certification.
It's right here. Eat up.
Interesting scent. Do I detect a hint of Wamasu? No, that can't be right. Not how I do it, of course, but interesting enough to pass certification. You may now fulfill provisioning writs. Keep your pots warm and your ladle clean.
I love the... Do I detect a hint of Wamasu? No, that can't be right. Beautiful. All right, so this time we get a little box of cooking supplies as opposed to straight up material. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is going to have another green recipe in it for us that we can learn, and maybe a food item or something. We'll open it here in a minute.
Your command of the crafts is impressive, but not yet in totality. I am still capable of instructing you.
Zaranjidaro is interested in enchanting certification.
Enchanters harness the possibility of runes, transforming them into the certainty of glyphs. I'll teach you, but I can only focus on one certification at a time. Is this agreeable?
This one wants to be certified as an enchanter.
Potency, essence, and aspect. All beneath the stars bear these component concepts. When combined, they form glyphs, which add enchantments to items. First, you'll find these component runes. Then I will have you create a glyph.
Zaranjidaro needs to create a glyph to be certified?
Absolutely, for such is the essence of enchanting. Runes of potency, essence, and aspect are the fundamental components of glyphs. Collect one of each variety before you return.
This one already has the runes you're talking about.
We begin at the enchanting table. There you will combine a rune of potency, essence, and aspect. This simple puzzle forms a glyph. Now go, piece them together.
This one will go craft a rune then. And luckily, no, not that side. Ah, this is... Donlin Bakes is actually tied more to the anniversary event, but it is a cooking book. Alright. Is it the enchanting station here? No, it's not. It's not. It's in the other place. I should have done alchemy first, because alchemy's right upstairs. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. This is the inn. Again, I've done this 1,000 times. Still forget sometimes where things are. Right. Right, the crystal vial. Okay. Now, I could have come here. Actually, I forgot that I could have come here to do a cooking fire here instead of to the pub. But that's okay. Ooh, bookshelf. Ooh. So you never know what a bookshelf's going to contain. That's another skill book for us. Oh, there's the enchanting book. Right. Let's make a glyph. Okay. So it takes 3 runes to make a glyph. One of potency, one of essence, one of aspect. And I'm definitely going to go, if I can. Probably not. Oh, yes. No, I forgot. I don't know runes. Okay. Well, she doesn't know runes yet. All right, I have to remember. If I knew the runes, it would tell me instantly. So we're going to... Actually, this is a good chance to show you how to learn runes. So, So, once you craft a glyph with the runes... excuse me. So this is our... First one is always your potency. And potency is what gives the glyph its level, whether it's a level 10 or a level 50. We go down to Essence Runestone. This is going to be if it's stamina, magicka, weapon power, etc. And at the bottom is our improvement, so is aspect. So once I craft something with each of these runes, I will know what that does, or what that particular rune does. And I'll show you here in a minute. I do not remember if it's this one. I do know that... So we're trying to make a trifling glyph of health. I know that Oko is the health rune. I just happen to know that because I've played for a while. And I know that Ta, being white, is your very basic. So this is kind of where we get into the colors too. Blue's superior. Don't remember what green is. Yellow is your legendary. And purple is epic. So we're going to make it with this. This says unknown glyph because I don't know what these 3 things do. If I knew 2 of the glyph or 2 of the runes but didn't know the 3rd one, it would say the same thing. Same as if I knew 1 and didn't know the other 2. So until you learn it, it's not going to tell you what it makes. So let us craft. Okay, so you can see on the side where I've created the glyph, it tells me I translated some runes and tells me what they are. And this is not the one I need. So I bet it was Jorah. There we go. Not a problem. And what we can do is, since I have one I don't need, I can extract it. So if we go back to creation, the reason that... So now you can see that we've learned that Jode... gives... There's always a positive and negative benefit. So for instance, this would make a trifling glyph of absorb health, which I could put on a weapon and drain health from an enemy. If I use this rune, instead of reduce but develop, it makes a rune, a glyph that I can put on armor to give me extra health. Glyphs and all that are a whole other thing. I'm going to clear this out. And we're going to talk to wherever he is. He should be here somewhere. Where are you? Are you upstairs? Never can remember. No. I've lost him. Oh, because I ran right by him.
Craft a glyph using a rune of potency, essence, and aspect. Return when you have forged intent into form.
Form accomplished. This one has the glyph here.
You should attach it to an item so you can see the enchantment's effects. You are now certified to fulfill enchanting rites. May you unravel the secrets of Nirn.
All right. Got our goodies. On to the next one.
Your command of the crafts is impressive, but not yet in totality. I am still capable of instructing you.
Tell Zaranjidaro more about alchemy certification.
Alchemists are masters of the elixir. They trap magic in a bottle for later use. But I can only certify you in one discipline at a time. If this is agreeable, we can begin your training.
This one wants to be certified as an alchemist.
As with master chefs, every alchemist must assemble the right components before crafting a special concoction. Are you so capable? We shall see. I require you to locate a solvent and some reagents. Then you shall craft me a potion.
This one needs to create a potion to be certified?
Yes. Every alchemical mixture requires a solvent, a pure liquid base, and reagents such as herbs and flowers. Now go. Find a solvent and some reagents. Once you have what you need, return to me.
This one believes she already has those ingredients.
Good. Now go to an alchemy station. Use a solvent and 2 differing reagents to craft a potion. The reagents must possess common traits, or you'll waste all components. You see, alchemy is as simple as pairing like with like.
This one will go craft that potion then. Alright. So, there's this blue book here. This is what is called a lore book. Now granted, anything you can read in this game is lore, to be honest. But there are certain books that are called lore books. They're always going to be glowing blue. There are some you can find across all 3 sets of Alliance zones. There's some you can only find in Cyrodiil. Is it Imperial City? No, the ones in Imperial City are also the ones in Cyrodiil. So there's some you can only find in Cyrodiil. These are what you use to level your Mage's Guild. So we're going to read it, of course, and it'll say lore book discovered. All right. Yeah. You're going upstairs. As soon as I figure out where it's at. Ooh, bookshelf. Oh, look it. I increased 1 hand and shield. I may not need it, but I increased it. Oh, there we go. So there's another good thing, or another thing, just as a note. Sometimes if you don't have a skill line and you read the skill book, you might gain the skill line just like that, which is great. All right. Now we're back. So alchemy. And we're at 1 at alchemy, so I doubt she's learned a thing. Alchemy is like enchanting in that you have to learn traits for things. But when you do, then when you have a quest to do it, it'll automatically come up. All right. And so on this one, I definitely want to do... Wait, I can't do that, duh, because I'm missing items. The reason it says missing items / traits is because I don't know things. Sip of health. I think that is Columbine and... I think it's Columbine and Mountain Flower. I'm going to hope because I only have 1 Columbine. So again, much like when we were doing the runes, we don't know what either of these reagents do. So it's going to say unknown potion. And so now we've learned that Columbine has the traits of restore health and restore stamina. Actually, well, it won't show it now, but Mountain Flower has the traits of restore health and restore stamina. Because of that, those 2 will mix together to create a restore health potion. Eventually with alchemy, you can put points in to where you can use 3 different reagents, which lets you make more complex and powerful potions. But right now, we're good with that. And we will come back and talk about how to... I already read that bookshelf. I think I've read this somewhere else. Yes, there we go. We'll talk a little bit more later about how to level... efficient ways to level the alchemy and the provisioning. And I completely ran out of the building without turning in my last quest for Danelle. Upstairs. Hello, sir.
Blend the solvent's purity with the reagent's traits. Return to me when you've crafted a potion.
The ingredients were a good blend. This one has the potion here.
Your potions have a slight fizz to them, but your skill with admixtures is unquestioned. Far better than my former apprentice. You are now authorized to obtain and fulfill alchemy writs. May your elixirs remain potent and your reagents fresh.
This one likes the carbonation. Just a little, not much. I like the bubbles. Sorry. Your potions have a slight fizz to them. Yeah, and? No.
Mastery of 3 crafts is its own reward.
Alright, so we have officially learned 6 out of the 7 available crafting writs. We're gonna go learn the last one here in a minute. This one has a few questions.
Certainly. Please specify.
How did you become a master crafter?
Decades ago, before all the trouble, I was a renowned chef in Cyrodiil. I had engaged an exclusive contract to provide the Mages Guild in their travels, providing food and drink that wouldn't spoil when carried through portals.
How did you learn enchanting and alchemy?
Broiling fish, forging glyphs, or mixing potions. It's all recipes and ingredients. I proved the theory when I joined the ranks of the Mages Guild. Mastered both crafts within 3 years. Not that I'm bragging.
Oh, of course not. This one has some other questions.
Certainly. Please specify.
All right. Now, we are going to... So we have learned... I'm going to call... Well, actually, I think they've made jewelry base game now, too. But it's not in the starter zones, unless Somerset is base. Anyway, not the point. So, Danelle Teleno teaches you the consumables. So now we have the ability to make provisioning, enchanting, and alchemist writs. So, we have one more craft to learn. And that is jewelry. So the reason jewelry is not here in this zone is because it did not drop with base game. They actually put jewelry in when they released the Somerset chapter, which was 2018? 2019? Or was elsewhere in 2019? So it's not base game, so the person that you need to talk to be certified to do jewelry writs is located in Somerset. But that's okay, because we're going to Somerset. And I think I have a way shrine. I hope I have a way shrine. Oh, I don't have the way shrine, but I do have the house. I forgot. So, side note, in the DLCs, you can buy a small apartment in one of the specific inn, but one of the inns or taverns. That is basically a free travel spot for you. And I think they're like 2,000 or 3,000 gold each, so they're not bad. I would buy them as soon as you can. Because they come very in handy. And I say that because this is the only way shrine you will have unlocked if you've never been to Somerset. We need to get to Alinor, and as you can see, that's a long way away. Now, it doesn't take that long to run it. I get it, but I would much rather just travel to the house. So the great thing about traveling to a house, you now have the option to travel to the inside or the outside. I'm going to travel to the outside because I don't need to use anything in the house. I don't think I have anything in that room anyway. But I don't need to use anything in the house. I just need to travel outside of it so I can get to Alinor. And we are going to travel. So pretty. Except some of the tiles are stuck up. Anyway.
Who wouldn't want such a cozy little home?
We will talk about later. This is crafting day, not housing day. I gotta be honest, we might do it if I have time today, just because... Nope. Wait. I always get turned around when I come here. I'm like, where's the door? All right. We are now in the capital city of Alinor in the Somerset Isles. On the main Isle of Somerset, basically. Alright. And because I see that way shrine that has not been discovered yet, guess what we're doing first? Because I have priorities. That's done. Alright, so... Now, as I said before...
From the Office of Divine Prosecution.
Blue...
Animal handling desired.
Blue, quest markers are going to give you your dailies. These are the Delve and World Boss dailies specific to Somerset. Again, we're not doing those today, but just so you know, whenever you see that blue marker, it's not just crafting writs. It's going to be anything that you can do on a daily basis. So we are going to go talk to the gentleman down here, Falari. Yes.
I see something within you, a glistening jewel ready to be polished, a passion teeming with brilliance, though not yet realized. Tell me, do you wish to be certified in jewelry crafting?
Tell Zaranji Daro more about jewelry crafting certification.
A certification will allow you to fulfill jewelry crafting writs. But first, you must demonstrate an understanding of the fundamentals. Create for me a simple ring. Yes, that task will be suitable to show me your craft.
This one wants to be certified for jewelry crafting. She will create a ring.
Let's get started, shall we? After all, good polish takes time. First, you must gather the required materials needed to create your ring. A true artisan starts from scratch, after all.
What materials does this one need?
Pewter dust, of course. It's an important component of jewelry crafting. You'll always want to have some on hand, should you wish to take up this most noble craft.
This one already has enough pewter dust.
Ah, so you've come prepared. Excellent. Take the dust to a jewelry crafting station. There you can begin the delicate process of refining the dust into pewter ounces. After you've completed the task, return to me at once.
Actually, Saranjitaro already has some pewter ounces. What should she do with them?
Oh, impressive. Not many have such foresight. Take the pewter ounces to a jewelry crafting station and craft a ring. It should only require a few ounces to create.
This one will go craft a ring. Can I ask him questions? I can't remember.
Unlike other crafts, you will need no style materials for this task. Simply take your pewter ounces to a jewelry crafting station and create one. Craft your ring and bring it back to me.
All right. So, we are going to go in here. This is actually one of my favorite places to do crafting writs because everything's in a big circle. I'll talk about that in a minute. Look at a yellow book I haven't read. And bookshelves that I need to touch. There we go. Right. Actually, I should have went and showed you where... What will it show me? Let me go back out here. Hold that thought. Excuse me. Just a minute.
What will become?
I believe... So, with jewelry materials are usually... Even though they've been out for a while, they're still fairly rare. I do not see them out there. So what... Not that I could see them from here. When you're doing this quest and you don't have any materials, they will... The markers will send you... Ooh, look at...
Well,
Grab a Nern root. If you've played Skyrim, you are familiar with that sound. Alright. Let's see. It's down the river, and it looks like they don't do it anymore if you've already got materials, which is fine. But if you're doing this for the first time, it'll send you down this way to find some materials. For instance, and then basically what you would do is you would take that. There will be like 2 or 3 to collect because you'd need several. You'd basically just take that back up to the city and make your you know what words are? Make your make the ounces, and then similar with the ingots and whatnot. Make the ounces and then make your item. All right.
Oh, pitiful me.
Crafting station. Let us make a ring. And I'm sure you guys know what's coming up after I make this ring. That's right. We're going to come back and deconstruct it. Like I said, it's once you've done 1 or 2 of the crafting writs, you just tend to, when you're certifying a new character, it's like boom, boom, boom. Like, boom, boom, boom. Okay, sorry. Don't sing. All right.
Unlike other crafts, you will need no style materials for this task. Simply take your pewter ounces to a jewelry crafting station and create one. Craft your ring and bring it back to me. Well, do you have a ring to show me?
Scared me for a minute. I'm like, I'm sure I made a ring. This one has a ring. Does that mean she's certified?
Not yet. We have so far only spoken in terms of creation. But the act of deconstruction is also an essential skill of any artisan. Go to the jewelry crafting station and deconstruct your ring, or any other item of jewelry, should you prefer.
All right, we've already talked about deconstruction before, so I'm just going to go deconstruct it. All right. Got a pewter ring and deconstruct. And so now we can go finish being certified. Right.
Your bearing is that of an awakened artisan. Have you deconstructed a piece of jewelry as I requested?
Yes. Is Ranjitaro ready to be certified in jewelry crafting? Please say yes.
Most certainly. I hereby ordain you officially certified in the art of jewelry crafting. You may begin fulfilling writs immediately. Here's a small reward to get you started in your journey.
Right.
You are now free to accept jewelry crafting writs. Be advised that while the jewelry you create may be beautiful, you'll need to conduct further research if you wish to add the traits most adventurers seek.
How does Ranjitaro research traits?
You can research any trait that a piece of jewelry already possesses. Sadly, the item will be destroyed, but such is progress. You can also enchant jewelry, though you'll have to seek another if you wish to learn more about that skill.
What kind of traits can this one research?
You can learn traits which help with your health, stamina, or magicka. I suggest prioritizing traits you most need in your adventures, as the research process may take quite some time to complete.
Is there anything else this one should know about jewelry traits?
I have heard of many special jewelry stations located within certain parts of Tamriel. Jewelry pieces created at such stations will provide advantages when used in conjunction with specific armor and weapons.
So what he's talking about are like the crafted sets that are out in the world. We won't really get into that today, I don't think. I don't think we'll have time. But that's what he's talking about when he says used in conjunction with specific armor and weapons. Right. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, let's go do some crafting writs. So we're now fully certified. We can do all 7 crafting writs, which is great. Pardon my squeaky chair. So, the reason I like crafting here in Alinor is because literally everything is in this room. With the exception of if you need to learn a drink recipe or a food recipe. They're not here. But, so let's go to, all right. So these are all the consumables. Consumables are the things you eat, drink, put on, enchant, etc. So we're just going to go through really quick. And then we go to the other board. That's another thing about Alinor. The crafting boards are like right next to each other. I don't have to run from one side to the other kind of thing. I do also like crafting in Volkilgard, where we learned all the other crafting stuff, because everything's pretty handy. And then Reaper's March, Ralka and Reaper's March is another good place to do crafting. All right, so we have all of our writs. As you can see, it's marked. Everything's marked. Even though it's not the active quest, it is marked for you where it goes. You can do these in any order. It does not matter. All right. So, alchemy. I am missing items and traits, which we're going to fix. And I'm also going to talk a little bit here, since we're at an alchemy station, on how to level up your alchemy. You also notice that the crafting writ asks you to acquire cornflour. So if you don't have it, you'll have to go find it. Again, guild stores are probably the quickest way to get it. You can also go forage for it. So, sip of stamina, do I remember? I don't know that I remember. Okay. I do not remember. Alchemy is one of the things I am not that great at. So let's talk a little bit about how you can research. So again, you have to learn all of your traits on your alchemy to know what things do. Now, the reason all of these are showing up, this is showing up things that I have already collected out in the world. So let's go with... Why does that... Oh, gotcha. No. So there are certain ways you can do this in like a very specific way to where you kind of maximize, your materials and stuff like that. That requires too much thought for me, and I know that sounds weird given how much I talk about ESO, but for me, I much prefer to just take this one and go here. So this says inert potion. It means you're not going to learn anything from this one. So I take that out, and I go to the next one down. Not going to learn anything. Do this one. Nope. Aha! This says unknown potion, which tells me that these two reagents will react to make something. And so, because we mix those two together, we learned the vitality trait on both Beetle Scuttle and Butterfly Wing. So, but I obviously still have 3 more traits to learn on Beetle Scuttle, so let's keep going. So remember, if it says inert, it's not going to teach us anything, but unknown will. Alright, so it didn't teach us something on Beetle Scuttle, but because we already knew that vitality trait, we were able to learn it on the Fleshfly larva. They're unknown. So, and you can see where this, if you wanted to maximize your materials, you'd kind of want to do this more methodical, or more methodically than I'm doing it, but I basically will just take one, go down the list until I stop learning things about it. So we got one more trait for Beetle Scuttle, which we'll hopefully get to soon. Okay. All right. No, that was for Mountain Flower. Okay, cool. Did we just learn? Yes, we just learned our last trait for Beetle Scuttle. And the way you can tell, not just from the left-hand menu, but also from that center menu where your pieces are kind of almost off-center, we've got 4 little icons under the Beetle Scuttle, which is that first reagent. We only have 2 under the Mud Crab Chitin, which is the other agent. So now I'm going to take the Mud Crab out. I'm going to take the Beetle Scuttle out because we've learned it all. Now we're going to go to the next one on the list, which is Blessed Thistle. Now, because with Beetle Scuttle, I already tried making something with Blessed Thistle and it didn't work, I'm going to go straight down to the next one. And this is pretty much how This is, to me, is the easiest way to do your alchemy stuff, where you're learning the traits. And if you notice down at the bottom right, our alchemy skill is growing every time we learn a trait. Every time you make a potion, it does that too. Which is why I say alchemy is one of the easiest ones to learn. If you have enough materials and you have the skill points to put in to where you can make higher level potions as you go, you can level up alchemy super easy. Now granted, you do have to have the materials. Oh! Sip of stamina. Yes, please. Thank you. Alright, so that's done for our writ. But I do want to go do a few more traits. But yeah, this is why I consider alchemy one of the easiest things to level. Whoops, I've already learned all 4 traits. Wasn't paying attention. Okay. So I would want to go to this one. And you just start the process all over again. You do get to a point where you're literally just going down the list and it gets quick, you know. Doesn't take that long to do. And of course, because it's me, I'm going to finish out this one if I can. There we go. Oop. All right, there we go. All right, so that is... So just in that amount of time with that method, we learned all the traits for Beetle Scuttle, Blessed Thistle, and Blue Entaloma. We also learned traits on other ones because we used it to make stuff. So, and if you notice, our alchemy has jumped up to 6, which is good. Don't know if that's... Oh! And Golden Pursuits. So I have earned my first Golden Pursuit reward for this event because I crafted... Because I've done 5 of the different doodads. Is it 5? Okay, doesn't matter. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's because I did actual pursuit. Duh. Not the... I got my things confused. So, sometimes with the Golden Pursuits, you actually get the writ vouchers. You get an extra reward, not necessarily writ vouchers. You get an extra reward. So this one lets me get some writ vouchers, which I don't have any, so yay. All right, and as you can see, this is kind of one of those things where you're kind of passively doing your stuff just by doing stuff. Craft 50 items with any skill. We've officially made 25 different items so far, just with what we've been doing while we've been learning crafting and all that. Complete 10 crafting quests. Hey, guess what? All of those quests we completed for the initial one, crafting certification, and then the 7 crafting quests where we learned how to do things. It all counts. So again, passive stuff. All right. Oh, what am I doing? I don't need to go turn that in. I need to go to the jewelry. Or actually, I'll probably go here first. Let's just try to go in a somewhat of a circle to have. All right. Trifling glyph of Magicka with Ta. Okay, Magicka. Trifling glyph of Magicka. Okay, so we already know that because we have these 2 traits, we know which one we need. This says it wants a trifling glyph of Magicka, which will add Magicka, so we want to use this one, which says develop. And all of these will be different, by the way, as you learn them. Like this, is it? I don't remember which one that one is. All right, Magicka is Mako. And Ta is our basic rune. Unknown glyph. And there we go. This one, it's easy. It's relatively easy to learn your traits. Now, where that says requires potency improvement 5, that is a thing where you have to go into your skills and say, and I'll show you that here in just a second. But it's easy to learn the traits for enchanting, but you still have to deconstruct a whole lot of runes in order to get it leveled up to 50. Learning all the traits is a big jump, and you can do that anytime if you want to wait till later or you want to do it at first. It doesn't matter. It's totally up to you. So if I wanted to... Let's go to skills. So, Now, I only have 3 points right now, so I'm going to be saving those points, because it's me. But, as you see, we've leveled up to 6 in alchemy. We can now unlock... Well, actually, we could have done this at 2, I think. The Keen Eye reagents. So the Keen Eye skills in your crafting are, number 1, fantastic, because it lets you see things when you're close to them, and they'll glow with a little yellow light. And each one except provisioning has one, because provisioning materials you don't necessarily... You pick it up in the world, but you're not going to pick it up outside of a container kind of thing. So our blacksmithing... We're at 4 in blacksmithing. We can get the Keen Eye skill. We can also get a minor hireling, which I recommend doing, especially if you want to be a crafter, because they'll send you stuff every day. Like, they'll just send you some blacksmithing stuff every day. We now get into metal extraction. So this is where we start putting in points, kind of thing. Let's not talk about points yet. So enchanting. When I am up to enchanting level 5, I can increase my potency improvement to level 2 if I have the skill points to do it. At level 6, I can increase my aspect improvement, which lets me start using the... Okay, standard. Green is standard. See, there we go. This... enchanting also has Keen Eye, but I don't tend to use it because... Runestones already kind of glow just a little bit anyway. They glow a little red. So I don't think I need it, but if you think you need it and you have skill points, by all means, drop it in there. Alright. So, where did I get to? 3 pewter rings. Now, we need to make 3 pewter rings. I can either sit here and hit craft 3 times, or I can hold the craft button down, which is X on this controller, and say, oh, I want to make 3 of these. All right, that's done. Let's go over to... All right, so now we're into things that require trait materials. I have plenty of moonstone. I've got 65. We are not going to use those up doing this. Your basic crafting writs do not require you to have a trait. Master crafting writs do. We're not talking about master writs today. All right. So I need to make, as it's showing me, and because I have it turned on to say quest only, it's only showing me the 3 things I have to make, which makes this faster because you don't have to think about it. You can just sit here and hit your craft button. Easy peasy. Boop, boop, boop. Now, this is going to be tricky because I don't think I have... stuff. Yes. So she has not learned the chicken breast recipe. She's not learned the matzo recipe. We will go fix that in a minute. Now, if I knew the recipes, I could do the crafting right there, but I can't because I don't know. Okay. So here's our shield. Flip over to weapons. We do our craft multiple again. Voila. This gets... You get faster and faster at this as you go, to be quite honest. And I know I'm speeding up just a little bit. I'm trying to go slow, but it's like I'm so used to fast, button. But this will get super, like, doing your crafting writs becomes not that hard. Let's see. All right, so there's... I need to go get... So here we do have to go a little bit out of the way to go get our... I wish they had a brewer and stuff in there, and that would just make it perfect. But that's okay. Here we have to go... I have to remember where that place is. I think it's... There are different ways you can get here. But oh, duh. It shows you a marker of where to go to buy things. No, it doesn't. That's just the... All right. So this is a chef. He can sell us food recipes.
Before you get too comfortable, I don't serve any of that strange foreign food here. Nothing but traditional Ultima fare prepared in the traditional Ultima fashion. If that suits your needs, then we can do business.
Oh, of course that suits my needs. All right. So this is where you can buy, and the recipes you can buy are going to be based, at least base game recipes, when you're buying them from a chef or a brewer. It's always going to correspond, I believe it's always going to correspond to the level you're at. So it's only going to show me like recipes I can make at my current level in provisioning, which is all the 1 through 4 recipes. Now, while you're here, if you want to buy a bunch of recipes while you're at it, feel free. You can also find these recipes in guild traders, and sometimes they're cheaper because these do get more expensive as you go. These the base level 1 through 4 recipes are a little under 300 gold. You might find it cheaper in a trader. No. So I need to learn chicken breast. And then we're going to go down to the tavern, which is down here around the corner, and go get a drink recipe. Use your brain.
I'm from Daggerfall, so I don't care if you're a high elf or the king of the Red Guards. If you have the gold, you get the drink. Simple as that.
This one likes how you think. All right. And again, we have recipes here. I forgot. Oh, I need matzi. Okay. All right. Now, if I wanted to buy more than one, let's say I had 2 tunes, and I'm like, oh, I'll go ahead and grab one for them while I'm here. You just tell it how many you want. All right. Now, looky, looky. We have a cooking fire here that we can use. Now, if I had already known the recipes, I could have just stayed and made them right where I was. But I didn't, and that's okay. Learn chicken breast. Learn matzi. Okay, so now, when we go to the cooking fire and we hit creation and quest only, surprise! I don't know why that's still showing up. Huh. Or do I not have? I don't have that turned on. Whoops. So let's turn on our, there we go. And so now it only shows me, so like, for instance, if I knew how to make other stuff, which I do, I know how to make roast pig, it shows me that. But if I tell it quest only, it's only going to show me what I have to make for the specific quest. It's always going to have that little quest marker next to it, so if you don't want to say just quest only, you don't have to. All right. Now, if you want to make anything else that you know, you do have to have that turned off. But for now, I'm going to leave it turned on so I don't have her doing a lot of crafting. While we are here, let's, I don't have that many recipes, but I think I got enough. All right, chicken breast and matzi. I have more rice than I do chicken. Let's make matzi. All right, so I can make a level 1 to 4 food. However, this is a level 5 to 9 drink. So because of the higher level, I'll get more crafting inspiration when I make it. So let's see if we can get to 3. Yep. See how that jumps to 3? This is also another place where you can craft multiple. And there you go. That's how easy it is to level your provisioning. Now, again, you have to have the materials to do it. I don't have much to do it. But you can literally sit here, tell it to craft 100, and that bar will zoom right over. So provisioning and alchemy are 2 of the easiest things to learn your crafting in. If you level your crafting, if you have the materials, and that's an if. All right, so we've crafted the last of that. We are now going to go turn in the fruits of our labor and go get our goodies. Okay, so with all these quest markers, I guess that's where we turn everything in, right? Yes. All right. So you have you place the goods in the crate. They give you rewards. You always get inspiration, like we did when we first learned how to do stuff, and you get a blacksmith's crate. The blacksmith's crate is going to be based on the level you are currently at. So, for instance, if I was at max level in the game, well, no, that's not true. That's not true. Hold on. Back up. Sorry about that. The crates that you get, the little supply crates you get, are always going to be based on how many skill points you've put in the skill line. I completely got that wrong. So, for instance, if I have 10 points in the blacksmithing skill line, then I will get max level stuff out of that crate to deconstruct or sell or whatever. We're still just a baby, so we're not going to get that. And there's things that they say when you turn these in, which are nice. I'm just kind of skipping through because, you know, I mean, they're nice, but we got things to do. Because we are going to go over to the side and open all of our beautiful little crates and coffers and whatnot. Ah, sweet. So that doesn't say steal from, so I'm taking some apples. Right. And so we have now turned in all of our crafting writs. And I'm going to step over here. And we're going to open all our boxes. So, it's under container. This is also where, like, your stolen stuff from Thieves Guild and whatnot is. Alright, so let's just go down the list. So, a reward for the delivery of crafted goods. Alchemist survey. So you will get surveys from time to time. They show you on the map where to go in a specific area to go get a bunch of materials. So these are always great. Sometimes they're a pain in the butt, especially if you don't have a way shrine close to where it is. But they're always worth it to go get your crafting materials. And of course, we get a little bit of material for whatever craft it is. We also have gotten some gold for this, and that's why I say you can use crafting writs to make gold, especially if you have multiple toons, because if you have, let's say you have 2 toons on your account, both of those toons can log in and do crafting writs. So it, again, always have an extra toon. So, with the blacksmith's crate, it's going to give us a shipment of ingots. And those are going to be leveled to whatever crafting level we are at currently, what points we have in crafting. I will say that sometimes you get things that are at the current character level you're out. It's basically a 50-50 shot, and that goes for when you pick up stuff in the world. It goes for when you open these crates. It's a 50-50 shot. You might get your skill level, your crafting skill level, or you might get your player character level. Just depends. So, of course, we get a little trait thing, and then we also get a piece of armor or a weapon. It will either be ornate, so you can sell it for gold, or it will be what's called intricate. Hopefully we'll get an intricate. Let's see here. Yes, so an intricate actually increases the inspiration you get from deconstruction by 300%. When you are deconstructing, like, the top character level rings, which is what you want to deconstruct, that will make it go faster. If a ring is, let's say you're deconstructing a white ring or a green ring, that green ring is going to give you more inspiration. So the higher level and the higher improvement level an item is, the more inspiration you get. And then we get a little bit of pulverized antimony. These are the things we do for traits. Are what we refine at a jewelry station. Leather worker. Oh, look, we got some more moonstone. We got some rawhide. Ooh, I got a new recipe, but I need to make sure my main toon doesn't know it first. All right. Get some barley, some honey, some millet. So the other good thing about doing your crafting writs every day, you get materials just for doing your writs, which is always great. So, no, she's at 11. I don't know why it gave me flags. I'm not going to complain. I'll take it. Copper dust, pewter ounces, and then our worker's case. Okay. And our shipment of planks. Alright. So, let's go talk a little bit. We talked about the provisioning in the alchemy. Let's go talk about jewelry. That'll just be next on the list. That's what I'm going to call it. And then what I usually like to do is I usually like to go to the things where I've gotten something and just deconstruct it. Every little bit helps. So even if it just gives you a little bit of inspiration, it definitely is going to help. All right, so with jewelry crafting, when we refine, we're refining the things that we use to make jewelry, like silver dust, copper, etc. We're also refining the things to give jewelry certain traits. So when we refine, we add it, and much like crafting multiple items, we can say we want to refine multiple items. So 10 of these items will give you, or 10 pieces of pewter dust will give you 7 to 10 pewter ounces. We can hit refine and do it once, or we can max it out and do all of it, or maybe I just want to do 2 more. So you will get ounces, you will get, much like with enchanting, you'll get runes back. With this, you get ounces and trait material back. And then, of course, creation. Oh, wait, I have a deconstruct. I forgot. I have friends who find jewelry crafting easy to level. I don't. It seems to take me a while. Especially with a baby toon character, because you're not getting like really high level stuff to deconstruct. The higher the level of an item, the more inspiration you get from deconstructing it. Your improvement section, which we'll talk a little bit about. Actually, I'm going to talk about that more at like the clothing or blacksmithing station. This is your research. So this is where, let's say I had a ring in my inventory that had the arcane trait. I could pull it up and research it. Let's see. And that goes for all of your crafting stations with the exception of enchanting, alchemy, and provisioning. So all of your equipment crafting stations will have where you learn traits. So for instance, deconstruct these. Now I could sell these for gold, but I would rather have the crafting inspiration, even though it's not much. But I also get materials out of it. So anytime you deconstruct something, with the exception of when you're researching it, you're going to get materials out of it. So improvement. So now we see we have normal, fine. Oh, green is fine. Superior, epic, and legendary. So with apparel, with your clothing, it's going to be called tannins. It'll be called different stuff. I think it's called alloys for blacksmithing. So it'll be called something different. Menu is pretty much the same. So let's say I wanted to improve this item, which is green, so I could improve it to blue. So it's going to tell me that it will take so many of a specific material to improve that trait. You will always go through, so if I picked up something that was green in the world, like this one, I can start improving it. I can improve it to blue, purple, gold. If I pick up something blue, I'd go through purple and gold. You don't always have to go through every single thing to improve the improve the item. Now, right now it's telling me that it will take 7 pieces of embroidery to improve this item, and the chance of improving it is 100%. Now, if I'm like, well, I really only want to spend 4. Well, that only gives me a 60% chance of improving that item, which means there's a 40% chance it could break. No. So it's always worth making sure, if nothing else, and I'll go out and show you right quick. In our skills, so this is clothing. We have our keen eye, our hireling, the unraveling. Unraveling is when you deconstruct something, you have a chance to get more powerful, you have a chance to get better materials. So better from the clothing ingredients and better, you have a chance to get something better when you unravel. Stitching, this has to do with research. And I don't think we're going to cover research today because we're coming up on we're at 2 hours right now. I may make research another time. We'll see. Tannin expertise. So this increases the chance of improving items with tannins. If you get no other crafting skills once you've leveled up enough to get things, I would highly recommend this, because even if you are at level 1, if you have this, anytime you deconstruct something that's a clothing piece and you max it out, it takes less of the improvement materials for you to actually improve it where you want to go. So, for instance, where this is saying 7 to improve this, it might take it down to 2 if you max that out. So it's completely worth maxing out. And actually, I will talk a little bit about research, because surely I have something I can research here. Okay, I don't. Never mind. All right, so let's deconstruct some stuff we have. Or I can't deconstruct stuff. Oh, I'm wearing everything. Duh. Don't mind me. So, if I needed food, I would come to the grocer and buy it. If I needed things to make drinks, I'd go back to the brewer and... No, that's not right. Is that right? Maybe it's all here at the
What?
grocer.
I've got every right to be here. The Lady Queen said so. Now, do you want to buy some groceries or what?
Priceless. Can you buy drink materials here? No, but you can buy food materials. You won't always be able to buy all of your food materials. For instance, there's no fish here, there's no white meat here, but you can buy some basics. Let me see if I have something I can learn in woodworking. Yes! So we can talk about woodworking. Actually, let me see if I have something in blacksmithing. I think I'd rather do that. I do. Okay. All right. Research. So this is what you will spend over a year doing, because every time you research an item, it starts at 5 hours to learn one trait. It then goes to 10. It then goes to 21. It doubles every time you do it. You will get to the point, by the time you finish researching 9 traits, it's taken like 2 months to research. Unless you're in your skills and you put points into carpentry. So carpentry is going to reduce research times by 5%, and it allows you to research 2 things at once. There's 4 points to put in for research, I believe, across every one of the items, or every one of the skills. You will eventually get to the point where it reduces your research times by 20%. No, it caps your research time at like 30 days, and it allows you to research 3 items, with the exception of jewelry. Jewelry will only go to 2 items at a time. If you're serious about crafting, and let me rephrase, if you're serious about creating a master crafter for your account, make sure you are and you need to do your research for master crafting. Make sure you're putting your points into this as soon as you can as you level up. Like right now, I have to get to woodworking 8 before I can start putting points in that. And again, you gotta go get your skill points. There are many places to get skill points in this game. Not always easy when you're a baby toon, I'll admit that. But once you get to level 10 and you can start queuing for dungeons, every time you do a dungeon for the first time, you get a skill point. And you get all kinds of stuff to either wear or deconstruct out of a dungeon. So, I mean, yeah, it benefits. Crafting is a grind. Getting to Master Crafter status is a grind. I'm not going to say it's not. I still love it. But these are the kind of things you want to think about. Every skill line has something about, improving your chances with resins, improving research times, and letting you research more than one thing at once. You got your extraction, where you can extract better materials. You got your hireling. Actually, which one doesn't have a hireling? Jewelry does not have a hireling. Is that the only one? I don't think jewelry... Yeah, jewelry doesn't have a hireling. I think the rest do. Your hireling, which they'll send you a message, and it's so... they're highly entertaining to read when you get them in your in-game mail. And it's like, hello, this is so-and-so from such and such, and I'm here to send you your stuff. Let me tell you about myself. And so you wind up getting this whole story before it transitions to another character, and they're like, well, I'll be off now. Somebody else will be taking care of you now. It's priceless. I love that creativity of like making it like that. It's great. Your keen eye is going to let you see things closer. I usually, even on my Master Crafter on my main account, any crafter I have, I usually only put 1 point in it because for me, that's about all I need. You can get it to where it's like you see it farther and farther away. So like the first level is 20 meters or closer. Then I think it gets to 30 and then 40 or 50. I usually just have that as level 1 because for me, level 1 is all I need. And then of course, this is going to determine where your level is at, what level of items you can make. So for right now, for instance, woodworking, I can use sanded maple. At rank 5 in woodworking, I can put a skill point to that and I can start using sanded oak, which, if we go to creation, I'm going to turn off our quest only. Actually, I'm going to turn off knowledge only too. So right now I can make items up to level 14. But I have to have woodworking 2 to start making items level 16 through 24. And it goes all the way up till you get your first level of champion points. Oh, I don't have a fully champion point character, which is 160. Okay. So, it takes time to get where you want to be. Let's see, is there anything else I need to talk about? We talked about alchemy. The blacksmithing is pretty much the same. Oh, research. So researching an item. Sorry, again, rabbit trail, sorry. We're going to go to research. And I have a weapon here I can research. As you see, it says 1 available. Takes 5 hours, 24 minutes, and 0 seconds. I can research an item that's charged. Because I have this item that we got, over in Canarthy's Roost. When we did a quest. So I could research that. I could also just as easily decon it for materials. But I don't know this trait. So see if you see the hourglass next to charged, that means I don't know that trait yet. That not hourglass, that's a magnifying glass. Magnifying glass next to charge means I haven't learned the charge trait on a two-handed sword yet. But once I learn it, that little icon will go away. So I'm going to hit research trait. They warn you up front, this is going to destroy the item when you research it. And it will take 5.5 hours. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. So now we have our countdown. And I will tell you, there are apps out there that will help you track this for research, which is great. So we're researching our first item here. So in 5 hours, 23 minutes, I could walk up to a blacksmithing crafting station and I could make a charged sword. Now, when you get into things like crafting sets, where you go out in the world and you craft it, you will have to know a certain amount of traits before you can make the item. The great part is there are sets you can get that have special, that have benefits and stuff you can use, even when you only know 2 traits. So once I finish learning charged on this greatsword, I might decide to go learn infused if I have that particular one. That one will take me about 10 to 11 hours to research because I already know 1 trait. Now I'm going to the second one. So this is where lowering those research times really, really helps. As far as traits, as far as order of traits, I kind of have a specific order. Because you're probably, if you have one toon that is like your main crafter or your main toon, You're probably going to want them to be your master crafter. Duh. And you're going to want them to learn all the traits. But you want them to learn traits that are going to be helpful so that you're not learning... Like, for instance, powered is a trait that increases healing. I don't need that on an axe. That could be the last trait I research, which should be the last trait I research. The only time, in my opinion, the only time you would learn powered first would be on a restoration staff. So, for instance, for weapon, so really for anything, I would say training, let's see, weapons. Training, charged, maybe sharpened. Nirnhoned, you can actually... I usually go to the guild traders and I'll buy a piece of Nirnhoned that somebody else has already made. It's easier, but it is expensive. You can go ahead and knock that out on if you wanted to. Like if you're planning your learning my traits and crafting strategy, you could just knock that right out and just learn all your Nirnhoned. I've done that before. You may not use it right up front though. So, and if you do the quest over in Craglorn, by the time you get to that end of that quest line, they will give you a random Nirnhoned item. So you don't have to go buy stuff from guild traders, but you can. So I would say training, because training is going to increase the experience you gain from kills. So let's say this was my only toon, and let me rephrase. Let's say my master crafter wants to be able to make things to help the other toons, or possibly help other people in the game. Because sometimes people will say, hey, can somebody craft me this in defending so I can research it? Or you can go to guild traders and you can buy something that comes that way or something somebody's made, that kind of thing. Training is going to help you increase your experience from when you kill an enemy, which is therefore going to help you increase leveling. So a lot of times you'll make training sets, usually around certain levels. I usually do around... I think level 10 and then, just kind of basically when I get to stuff, sometimes 15, because 15 you unlock your dual wield. Not dual wield. You unlock both item bars. We're not there yet with this character, but we'll get there. Might want to do about 25. That's kind of the halfway point to get you to 50. And then maybe 30 or 35. But basically, if you feel like you need to make new armor, go make new armor. It's totally fine. So training is definitely a trait you would like to learn sooner rather than later. Charged tends to be a good weapon trait. Again, I'm kind of speaking from personal experience here. I'm not the great, I don't min-max. So I'm not the best to tell you the most important traits to research, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I usually, training, of course, first off, charged is a good one, infused is a good one, sharpened tends to be a good one, and of course Nirnhoned, because that increases damage. When you're looking at armor, obviously training first. If you're going to be doing a lot of player versus environment or PvE, I would go with divines, because that increases your Mundus Stone effects, which we haven't talked about Mundus Stones. Mundus Stones is something you can go get that gives you an extra buff, so it might increase your damage done. Well, if you have a piece of divines on, it's going to increase the benefit of that stone. So I would say for armor, training, then divines. If you are planning to go into PvP, you would want to do impenetrable next, because impenetrable is specifically for damage you get from other players. If you're not planning to go to PvP, start working on infused. Excuse me. If you think you're going to be, well, let's see. Sturdy used to be one for tanks. Whenever they have updates and patches, sometimes things change. I seem to remember sturdy being, maybe it's sturdy you want on your shield. I don't remember. But I would say as far as starting out, go for training, divines, impen if you're going to do PvP, and infused. The rest of it, they're good traits. It's just I don't necessarily use them that much. So you may look at this and you start going, well, you know what? I do a lot of sprinting and roll dodging when I do stuff. So I think I'm going to learn well fitted before I learn this one. And that's perfectly fine. This game is made that you play the way you want to play. I am just sharing what I've done and learned over my years as a crafter. So you do this whatever you want. The other thing you can do is you can go turn something in for research the minute you get it. Like if you pick up something out in the world and you see it and it says, oh, I haven't learned that trait yet. You can just go dump it and do it at a, You never have to put in points for increasing your research if you don't want to. It is completely up to you. If you are determined to become a master crafter, like I said, it takes about a year to get there. And that is with getting your inspiration, doing your writs, etc., etc. Let's see. So, for instance, blacksmithing. Blacksmithing is diagrams. Woodworking is blueprints. Take this. So I haven't learned any of these, but if I had learned how to make like a light sconce or a table, this would show up here where I could make it. And then of course we've got our refine. And the reason these are showing up in red is because I don't have enough yet to refine them to make something. These others, I do. Creation, we already talked about. If I just wanted to come over here and make something, I could. When I finish researching that two-handed greatsword, I will be able to come down here and go over to what is training? Go over to training, and I can make a training greatsword. Now, I can't use it right now because this says it's level 14. Let me knock that down just a little bit. There we go. Got my moonstone. Once I have finished researching that item, the hourglass. I don't know why I keep wanting to do that. Magnifying glass goes away, and I know that training trait, and then I can just research. But this is another reason why it's great to have that have knowledge, because it only shows you what you can actually make right now. Deconstruction, deconstruction. Okay. Improvement, we've talked a little bit about improvement. Like I have these two weapons here that I have equipped. If I wanted to improve it, so like for instance, dwarven oils are what you use to improve to superior for blacksmithing. I could do that. If I put my points in, if I had the points to put in and the level high enough to put in for the improvement expertise, basically, this would lower this down to 2 or 3 probably. Yeah. I'm like starting. Is that it? Might be it. Okay, so if you see up here over in the right-hand corner, our golden pursuits, which is currently tracking the craft 50 items with any skill. We're at 46 of 50, just from doing our crafting certification and then doing our daily writs. So we only need 4 more, right? What can I make? I'll make shields. I'll make bows. I like bows. And she will eventually be using a bow as well as dual wield. I need 4, right? And I'm not going to use those bows. I just needed them to get that count. And oh, look at that! I got a new golden pursuit! So now I got the writ voucher reward from this one, but I also get another one towards that first 10k reward. And again, passive stuff. Like it's you're constantly doing stuff that's going to help level all of your that's going to level all kinds of different skills that you have in this game. You're constantly doing things that do that. You might get to level 20 in blacksmithing and not even know it because you've just been playing the game and you've just been doing your thing, picking up stuff, deconning stuff, researching stuff, and all of a sudden, oh wow, I'm like halfway there. I'm at 25. It's that easy. I recommend trying to plan for what you want to do because it does make it easier and it makes it easier to manage, just to be quite honest. But it's totally up to you. Totally up to you. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I know we've gone over a lot. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. Let me show you what I mean by guild traders. So guild traders are all over the game. They are, player guilds will bid on whether or not they can have a trader, a specific trader, every week. And they will hold that trader for a week. And we're talking, they're bidding things like millions of gold depending on the location. So, the name of the guild that currently has this guild trader this week is called Five Finger Trading, which I just think is funny.
Buzzing? Cousin? Shoving? Ah, sorry, friend. Cousin is just trying to come up with his next catchphrase. How can he help you?
Alright, so we're now going to go into the guild store menu. We have several menus. Excuse me. Browsing is the one you'll use most often. If you were in this guild, you could go here to list your stuff for sale. And if you did have things listed for sale, it would show up on that tab. But you and I are interested in this one, the browse. Do I have any? I haven't researched any, or not researched, searched anything. So, you can search things specifically by item name. So, let's say I want to put in... Say I need some blessed thistle for a crafting writ. Now, I can leave it at that, or I can go to the name match and specifically select it if I want to. Either one will do it. I'm not going to change category because I know exactly what that is. It's a alchemy thing. Okay, that didn't work. Let me reset my search. It's something that... Oh. It's usually in... Yes. So, what I'm searching for is Witch Mother's Potent Brew, because a lot of people, that's tends to be a drink that people will put in for others to use. So you can like buy a stack of it or whatever, or you can buy the actual recipe if you can find it. But I'm just going to do this and see... Yes. So, for instance, if I had a Magicka-based character, I could buy 40 of those for 2,000 gold. Which makes it 50 gold a piece for those items. Let me see if I can find research. Okay, reset. So, you can also just break items down by category. Let's say materials. You can break it down by, do you want a specific craft? Or do you want style, trait, or furnishing materials? So furnishing not only uses the regular materials you're already using in crafting, but it also uses, like it might use heartwood, which you find out in the store, or you buy from the guild store. Find out in the store. Find out in the world. Or you get it from the guild store kind of thing. So let's say I am looking for some food stuff, like, what does this guild have to offer for foodstuffs? Now, I could always put in ginkgo or lemon. So, let's see. Acai. I think it's called acai? Acai berry? Berry. So, if you look on the right-hand side, it tells you that there's 200, which is a full stack. Tells you what player is selling it. But also the small print at the very top tells you how much you have in your inventory or in your craft bag. So I already have, just from collecting stuff and playing different tunes, I have 243 berries. Let me show you my let me well wait, actually it may be in here already. Okay. Flour. Now, as you can see, 200 flour in this listing will cost you 3,600 gold. You may find it for more gold or less gold at a different trader. I will tell you this right now. If you find a flour sack out in the world, go touch it and get the flour. Because flour it takes so much flour to make some furnishing things. It's nuts. So if you see flour, grab it. Just saying. I have learned also the same with nickel, which is actually the imperial crafting trait. Imperial style crafting style. Office of Redundancy Office. A lot of things will use a lot of nickel. So, and as you craft things, as you craft furnishings and whatnot, you'll learn what you tend to take a lot of when you make stuff. I'm telling you right now, flour, anytime you find it in the world, just grab it. All right. Let's see. So now the thing is, like I was saying before, if we wanted to find, so like apparel. Oh, no, wait. Let's say I wanted to find an item that had the Nirnhone trait for research. It can be anything. It could be any of these. But you know what? No, wait. It could be any of these because I don't know Nirnhone yet. It can be any level. Doesn't matter to me. It doesn't have to be player level. Oh, poop.
Here to
doesn't have to be player level or champion point level. Just any level 1 will do. I'm going to tell it down here what trait I want. Now, your ornate are the ones that sell for more money. Your intricate are the ones that are going to give you more crafting research points. And then, of course, these are kind of self-explanatory. But I'm looking for Nirnhone. Don't need an enchantment on it. That doesn't matter to me because I'm just learning it for research. Minimum price 1, max price no. Quality. I don't need it to be any particular quality. I just need normal because, again, I'm just going to destroy it for research. Like I said, Nirnhone is expensive. But these players have made Nirnhone pieces. And like, for instance, this one's actually made in almost full level. It's a 150 instead of a 160. I could buy that piece of armor and, go research it. And now I'm curious. Let's see. So that's for apparel. Let's look at weapons. Weapons for Nirnhone tends to be a lot more expensive. Wow. No, that's not... I was about to be really impressed. No. There we go. So weapons are anywhere from 1/2 to twice as much for Nirnhone. Well, these are CP 150 and not 160. That's weird. Okay, something could have changed. No, not. But, so if I wanted to research Nirnhone on a lightning staff, I could pay 30k gold, buy it right now, and go learn it. So, because we are wanting to do training, and because, let's see, we're already researching something for blacksmithing, so let's go to clothing. And let's go to, this character is going to be using medium armor. And I want training trait. Let's see what we got. Nothing. Okay, let's try light armor. Nothing. We'll come back to clothing. So let's see. No, we're already doing blacksmithing, clothing, woodworking. We're using a bow. So let's see if I can find a training bow. Hey, look at that. Training bow that somebody made. And I can buy it for 330 gold. It's not bad at all. So we're going to buy that. Let's see, I still need a clothing, so I'll go to a different guild trader for that. Alchemy provisioning. Let's do this. Yes. So in our consumables, we can look up our master writs. We can look up our furnishing plans. We can look up the ever-popular miscellaneous. Food recipes, drink recipes. So let's just see what we can find in food recipes. Nope. Drink recipes? Nope. Glyphs, if I wanted a specific glyph for a specific thing. Furnishings. Yes, so they break down. Some of these are new to me. Cool. Companion equipment. We have not talked about companions yet. We will get to that. That will be its own thing. Oh, I received mail. Oh yeah, duh. Of course I received mail. So when you buy something from a guild trader, you get it in your mail. And this is also the same place in your mail is where you're going to get anything you get from the crafting or the hirelings, like your lumberjack, your miner, etc. So I purchased this item. Guild store sent it to me automatically because I purchased it. And I want to take that attachment. I've taken the attachment, and I always like to double check by looking. If you look above where it says maple bow and then bow two-handed, there's a little icon that has a bag. That means it's in your inventory, your character's inventory. So, and this says attachments none. I can safely delete this message. Okay. So now we're going to take and go back to our crafting stations, and we are going to start researching that bow, or that trait on that bow. So you can research, when you're starting out, you can research one item per crafting table as far as equipment. You're not really research. Where am I going? Woodworking. Hello. Over here. Alright. So we're going to go to our woodworking station. We're going to research. Oh, I had that one I could have done. But, alright. Training. It's going to take me 5.5 hours, roughly. I always like to round up because it's just easier. Research. The Gourd Father. That's hilarious. Well done. Alright. Research this bow. Tells me it's going to take 5.5 hours. So I am now researching something in blacksmithing, and I'm researching something in woodworking. And that's what you want to do when you start, like, if you're serious about researching your traits and all that kind of stuff, you definitely want to do, like, you want to make sure you always have some research going. I'll go up to one of the other guilds and see if I can find some other stuff. So your research is going to be your jewelry. I don't have anything I can research here yet. Your jewelry, basically anything you can wear, the equipment. So blacksmithing, clothing, woodworking, and jewelry. And every time you do your daily crafting writs, you will get a little bit of inspiration experience, as we saw earlier. Go to a less busy area. So yeah, so let's see how our things have improved on our skills. All right, so from where we started, which was pretty much like level 2s, 3s, we're at level 6 for alchemy, based on what we did. 4 at blacksmithing, 4 clothing, 2 enchanting. We didn't really do a lot with enchanting or jewelry crafting. And then, oh, provisioning. I need to show you guys provision. Did I show you provisioning already? Yes, I did. I already did that one. And then 4 for woodworking. As you level these up, and all of these level to 50, so we got a ways to go. As you level those up, you will unlock these passive abilities, which are always active. Much like things with your class skills are always, the passive abilities are always active, these are always active. I'm trying to think if there's anything... Trying to think if there's anything else to cover. I know this has been a lot, and I have rambled and rabbit trailed a lot. Trying to think if there's anything else we need to cover for crafting. We talked a little bit about the surveys where you go look it up and whatnot. Let me go to the bank and see if I have a master writ. Hello. No. I want to mount my horsey. There we go. Let me see if I might have a master writ in the bank that I can kind of show you what that looks like. Oh, and if you notice, our friend Daniel Talano is standing here. If I had not done the crafting quests over in Auradon, I could easily do them here. So that's the case with every DLC area. So that's Morrowind. Oh my gosh, can I name them all? Morrowind, Elsewhere, Greymoor, or Western Skyrim. Let me rephrase. Morrowind, Somerset, Western Skyrim, Blackwood. Oh my gosh, I should know all these. I do. I'm blanking. High Isle. What came out last year? Oh, Necrom, City of Necrom, I think. Am I missing one that came out last year, Rhonda? Gold Road, Westfield. I know that somewhere in all of those places, there's somewhere you can buy an apartment, so you have a free travel spot, and where you can learn crafting. Which I appreciate that they do that. I think that's great, actually. So that you don't have to start the game at the very starting point in the starting zone for your alliance in order to learn your crafting and stuff like that. I think it's great. So let me see.
Well, look what the sea washed ashore. Another one of our interesting visitors. Your gold and valuables will be treated with the same care as any high elves. You have my word. You do use gold as a currency where you come from, don't you?
I love her. She's so nice. She just thinks you're great. A lot of the high elves are not so happy about Queen Iran opening up the Somerset Isles to visitors. They really aren't. They can get over themselves. Excuse me. But they're not real happy about it. But I just love her. She's just so... Oh, wow. You're interesting. Tell me more. All right. From the bank menu, we can get to a guild bank. If we have access to a guild bank, we can post things in the guild store. We're more concerned with our personal bank. So this is the account bank. You can store currency here. That includes currency of alliance points, Telvar stones, and writ vouchers. Actually, I need to put my writ vouchers in the bank. So let's do that. My first writ vouchers. Okay. Telvar stones come out of Imperial City. We'll talk about that when we talk about PvP stuff in Imperial City. Alliance points come out of Cyrodiil and Battlegrounds. We'll talk about that when we talk about PvP stuff. Gold comes from everywhere. So let's see if I have... Okay. For instance, this is a style page. And I already know this one, so that's why it's not showing that I need to learn it. You cannot craft in this particular style, outfit style. It is only used for outfits. And we'll go down and talk about outfits actually right quick. So the style pages like this are where it says it grants an outfit style collectible. You can only wear that in an outfit. You cannot craft in that style. Of course, I got some stuff here that my main tune needs to go through and see if she knows. Should do that next after I finish stream. Okay, so here's where if I wanted to pull out that wood elf style and let my Khajiit learn it, she could learn it from this crafting book. These are usually cheap in the guild traders because everybody has them at this point unless you're new to learning your motifs or you're new to the game. So those are pretty easy to find. Crafting motif. So this is two of the, I think they call them rare styles. Now, I could learn that wood elf style because I'm at rank 1. No problem. But in order to learn the rare styles, I have to be at rank 8 for the ancient elf and rank 7 for barbaric. For these crafting motifs, I have to be at rank 10. And these are pages that drop. So yeah, there are so many styles in this game. Now, when I learn the wood elf style, I can not only craft in that style, but I can also use it in an outfit. So not every style can be crafted in, but most of them can. And I am looking for, not that, treasure maps. Do I have a master? I do not have a master writ. So master writs are going to tell you, and they're for higher level crafters. They start dropping when you're a higher level crafter. Master Writs will say, craft a greatsword in Nirnhoned with the Redguard style. And it can be any style that's craftable in the game. So sometimes you might get a Master Writ that you can't do yet because you don't know that style yet. And that's okay. You just stick it in your bank, you hang on to it. When you get the materials, when you learn that style, you just go do it. Now, learning style pages, which I don't think I can show you. Yes, I can. We will go to somewhere that will actually show me stuff. So, for instance, you can't do this with base game stuff until you learn... until you've unlocked the Shalador's library, which when we talk about Mage's Guild questline, which is so much fun, we'll do that, don't worry. But for right now, I'm just going to show you, for style pages, you can either find a book, which is very, very rare, or more often than not, you're going to find individual pages. There are 14 pages for every motif. I know. And you can search for these in the store. You can, so like when you go to the Guild Trader and you're searching for something, you can search by style name for pages. You can say Westweald Legion Maces to pull up just that. So make use of the searching. It will definitely help. But yeah, so there are 14 pages that you learn, and they drop from different things. For instance, Westweald Legion style comes from Miramore Incursions over there, which are kind of like the Dark Anchors. Shardborn, if you go to Skingrad and you do the solo daily job and the World Boss daily jobs, you will learn Shardborn style. And if you notice, one of my other characters has learned the Shardborn style for gloves because she found the gloves page, and so she learned it. Because this is an account-bound achievement, that's why it's showing for a character that doesn't know it. Let's see. Lucent Citadel is a style that comes out of the weekly coffers you get for doing the Lucent Sentinel trial. However, you can also walk over to the Guild Traders, because trials are 12-man raids. You may not be able to do that.
Quite a few of my high elf customers have complimented.
You may not be able to do that just yet. By the way, I just reset my search so we can clear everything out. But if there's any of my recent searches I wanted to go back to, they're all going to be right here. And if I want to clear out my recent searches, or not clear it out, but I can just delete them one by one. So, let us go and put in Lucent Sentinel, right? I think I spelled that right. 15 name matches. So it will find it, and it pulls up crafting motif 128. So we're probably closer to 130, 35 than 200. It just feels like there's 200 motifs in this game. I can search by a specific page. So let's say, now this one would be the book. If it says style, that means it's the full book. But let's say I just need the sword page today. Okay, it didn't come up. Let's try this again. Let's say I don't... Oops. Let me research or reset. I don't know why I keep wanting to say that today. Apologies, one-handed typing is not working today. All right. Let's say I want to find any page in Lucent Citadel that I don't have. Whoops. Okay. So they have found the legs page. They're selling it for $18K, which, considering this comes out of a trial, it's still one of the newer motifs. That's not a bad price. Again, you got to make money to get all these things. Some of the older motifs will sell for a lot cheaper, just so you know. But you see the green thing next to it on the left means I don't know it. So if this had come up and said the legs, the chest, actually, you know what? Let me do that. Let me do that with a different style. no E in that. There we go. It's probably gonna... Oh, that's right. There's a necklace. Okay. Side note. This, if I wanted to pull that necklace, I could pull it, research it, or buy it, research it. It would collect the Necklace of Draugr Heritage, because that's a dropped set. So it drops out in a specific zone. I believe it's the Reach. Not the Reach, the Rift. I could buy that necklace. I could take it to the jewelry station. I could start researching it. It will not only let me research the healthy trait, but it will collect in my sticker book the Necklace of Draugr Heritage. So that's always a nice thing, too. If you decon it or research it, you'll collect it in your sticker book. And that... Let me think of a style. Think harder. Mercenary. No, that's not that popular. Okay, well that's the rune bug. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Here we go. Oh, that's not bad for those. So as you can see, I don't know Daggerfall chest. It's given me the piece over there. I don't know the legs. It's given me the piece over there. So it's easy to tell what you don't have without having to go back and look at your list to get stuff. That is ridiculous. No. Okay. So, yeah. I think... Man, we are coming up on 3 hours. I think that is about as much as I can share. I know that is a lot. If you have any questions, feel free, absolutely, to post them in the comments after this goes into the playlist. I'm more than happy to answer any questions either about this game or about crafting or how to find things or whatnot. I am sure there are things I did not cover. I'm like 100% sure there's things I did not cover. So, but at the same time, you may learn a lot of things just playing the game. Quite honestly, I mean, it's like any other game. The more you play it, the more you learn, the better you get. And that has to do with whether it is gameplay in general, whether it's combat, whether it's things like crafting or fishing or whatever, and this game does have fishing. The more you play, the more you learn. And the more you do things like crafting and you're looking for your motifs and you're trying to find your traits that you want to research, the better things will be. It's just a matter of, getting there. It's just a matter of taking the time to do it. It does take time. It will take you at least a year to learn all your traits. You will finish some of them before you will finish others. You will probably finish woodworking is usually one of the first ones, if not the first one you finish. But all along the while, you're going to be getting your crafting it's not experience, inspiration up. You're going to be doing all kinds of things passively just while you're out in the world adventuring and doing your quests and stuff like that are going to help you level that crafting skill. And before you know it, you'll be, up at level 50 and you'll be going, oh, I need some more skill points. Let me go get some skill points. Yeah. So, thank you for watching. I know this was a really long one. There is so much information to share when it comes to crafting. But I do love it. It is a pain in the butt to get there. I'm not going to lie, but I do love being able to craft stuff for my other tunes or craft stuff for friends, or if somebody posts in zone chat, hey, I need this item, or, you can go actually make it and be like, here you go. Because as I've said before, I think I've said it before, there are so many people that helped me when I first started learning how to play this game, and it is pastime really for me to pay it back by trying to share this knowledge with other people. So I hope this has helped you. I definitely wanted to make this its own stream because, as you can see, it takes a long time to talk about it. But I think it's worth talking about if you are interested in crafting. It is not for everybody. I have friends who are like, nope, don't care about crafting. Okay, not a problem. And then I have friends like me who are like, oh yeah, I want to learn this, and oh, I have this motif page. Do you have it? Oh, here you go. I already learned it. So yeah, I feel like I'm definitely rambling right now. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you found this entertaining, if nothing else, but also informative if you have interest in crafting in ESO. And like I said, if you have any questions about crafting or anything we talked about today in the game, when this video is saved to the channel and you're able to make comments, please comment. I get a notification that I can see where folks have commented, so I can go in and respond as soon as I get a notification, as soon as I can, let me rephrase. But I'll have a notification that says, hey, you have a comment to respond to. So yeah, if you have any questions, any comments, anything that I should have covered, if you're a crafter in ESO and you're like, you really should have talked about such and such, please, please, please make sure you put that in the comments. So I am going to call it for today. I'm going to go make some more tea for my throat and get some more water. But again, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will get back into Tamriel and general old questing and stuff like that very soon. Thank you again. I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.